Betting does definitely make fighting a lot more fun.
Yeah, it makes everything more fun. But it's a very unpredictable sport to bet on, is this MMA.
So I think it's easy, I mean...
Well, I get calls every week from Vegas from my buddies, you know, and they're like, who do you like on this one? And I'm like, I like this fight. Then they call and scream at me because I'm wrong. And I'm like, hey, I didn't say I was any good at this. I just said I was a fighter.
Well, where I would always win all my money, so I think it would always be on the wrestlers, and I would always bet someone who's gonna out wrestle someone else, and the opponent does not strike hard, right? So if you have an opponent that strikes hard, there's obviously a chance for him to get the knockout, so you could always lose that way. But if you have an opponent who is very unlikely to knock someone out, then you know that whoever the better wrestler is going to win, right?
Right.
So that's what I would bet on a lot.
All my friends made so much money on me in Japan, you know, because my first 2 or 3 fights, I was like 7-1, then 15-1 against, you know, so they were making so much money, they kept flying over there. I'm like, do I get any of this money?
So honestly, wait, that's the sweet spot, Sean. And I did this with Daniel Cormier when he was coming up. Is that for some reason these idiot lines makers always make the new wrestlers
get beat, yep.
Big negative, you know, big underdogs. And so I won so much money on Daniel when he was just coming up, or when he got thrown into that Strikeforce tournament. Remember that?
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
The money on that. And so. You know, for my money, up and coming wrestlers is where you're gonna have the best deal.
What up, everybody? Welcome back to yet another Sound of Violence podcast. This is Pulver, and I'm here yet again with Chris Madaffer. What up, dude?
No, we're back.
That's right.
Great.
That's right. It's been like a week and a half or so, something like that.
Yeah.
Because we did the post-fight show for whatever craziness happened. There's been so many fucking fights in the last 2 weeks that I don't even remember.
It's a fun stretch for the UFC lately.
Yeah.
Especially leading up to their pay-per-views.
That's right. And actually, after this week, you know we have 2 weeks off.
See, I didn't even realize that. But that makes sense, though, because I remember 211 they said was May.
Yep. So next week, you guys can definitely get excited for our very special episode of Fight Valley that we
that's right.
We've been waiting to put out. So I figured out the timing on that last week, and that's going to work out perfect because then I actually have time to edit it, to make sure I didn't call certain people dudes. And yeah, so we look forward to that next week. But if you guys have not heard the show previously, I should introduce it a bit. We go through and we both listen to a ton of MMA podcasts. So we sit down and we talk about the MMA podcasts that we've listened to over the last week or so. And then we go through and break down the previous week's fight card before discussing this weekend's fight cards. We're actually recording this one on a Friday. And it's been a crazy week. A lot of shit's happened.
Because yesterday was a holiday, right?
Yesterday was a holiday, Chris. Great segue. And this opens us up perfectly to my plan. So, yesterday was what holiday, Chris?
Well, it was 420.
That's right.
Short. It's not Hitler's birthday.
The nation's holiday is how I like to call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the good people's holiday.
Yeah.
So, in honor of 420, Chris, where were you when we used to record over Skype?
I was in the Netherlands.
That's right. Do you remember losing bets in the Netherlands?
Yes, but did we honor those bets?
Oh, we did. And for one of those bets, what is if you were to name like one of the things you had to drink over there?
Oh, of course.
To pay off one of those bets. What was it?
I recall. It was called Cannabis Energy Drink.
That's right, Chris. And guess what I have in the fridge?
You probably found cannabis here.
Sure did.
You son of a bitch.
We are officially... Actually, let me grab this. Shot glass.
As you guys can hear in the background, Pulver is absolutely fucking ecstatic over this opportunity.
That's right.
Oh, what do you got? Some new Amsterdam vodka, of course, to pair it with it? You fucking sly motherfucker.
Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. And we don't stop.
Going full Dutch over here.
That's right. Because we're going 187 on Chris's shit, y'all. I got us a cannabis energy drink, which, by the way,
let me see what it looks like
has
here.
no cannabis in it. It's just hemp.
Oh, they wanted to spell upside down or backwards or some
They
shit?
did, yeah, they did like a weird mirror image thing. Also, I think this might be the light version of it.
Probably.
Which is whatever.
This looks actually more green. The other one's actually a legit different color.
No, I think it's the regular one is a darker green.
Oh, well.
But I did...
Oh, this says light.
Yeah,
oh, Jesus.
yeah,
So
exactly.
we're drinking diet cannabis.
Yes.
That's probably actually better then.
Diet, yeah,
Well,
the diet
or more
cannabis
poison?
energy drink. It's super good. So I have now poured us each a shot of New Amsterdam gin. These are the same size. Despite
Oh, did you get the
appearance.
gin or the vodka? I thought
Sorry, vodka.
Yeah, I was
Sorry,
very
super
confused.
vodka.
I was like,
And
goddamn.
we are now cracking our cannabis light energy drink that we got from a super legal shop in San Diego. Shouts out to Apothecary. I just spilled vodka on my pants. It looks like I just pissed
Or are
vodka.
you sure you're ready?
Well, I was up until that moment. So Chris, I've never tasted this.
Well, see, I've never tasted this either because it's a diet version.
Right, but you have tasted a version of this at least.
Yes, and I'll tell you this. I'm not one to
You
drink
didn't
energy
like
drinks.
it.
I don't. Okay, this is the thing.
I
As far as
remember you
energy drinks
really
go,
not liking
I can
it.
tolerate Monster and like Red Bull and all that shit. This was worse than that. So have fun. And diet is usually worse than regular. So this would be even worse than that.
Well, all right. On that note, here, cheers.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, I'm chasing out with that cannabis energy drink. That's not good.
Yeah,
it's not the worst thing I've
had
ever
the vodka first, so let me try this and actually make this shit worse.
Yeah, the New Amsterdam vodka, by the way, is not bad at all.
Oh my, this is way worse than even before.
Yeah,
God damn it.
It's not good. It tastes like weirdly grainy.
Very chemical.
Yeah, chemical and grain.
Yeah.
It's like if you were to dump Monster into
Or
some
as they
hay.
said in the movie Role Models, if you remember the movie, they called it nuclear horse piss.
Yeah, shouts out to the movie Role Models from like
No,
6
I
years
know,
ago.
but I know you remember that movie. That movie was funny. At least
Yeah.
I thought so.
No, yeah, it was. They had some sweet LARPing segments, if I remember right. Anyway, we are very off
Shouts out to
topic.
Kiss.
Shouts out to Kiss, y'all. Anyway, we're super off topic, but once I find my phone, which is right here in my pocket, we are going to get into the podcast we've been listening to. Man, this energy drink is not good. I'm glad I have a beer. Actually, speaking of which, I should shout out. I am at least drinking a Cocoa Brown. What are you drinking, Chris? Sam?
Cocoa Brown. Oh, and shouts out to myself. I have, for the past about 2 months, been doing homebrew with my dad and my brother. It has been a fantastic experience for anyone who has ever had an interest in brewing their own beer. I highly recommend it. Go to your nearest homebrew mart or wherever.
They'll have like a kit you can pick up. I've got one sitting in my kitchen.
Certain kits per whatever you feel like spending out money for. And you can download this software called Beersmith. Download it. It goes right onto your Mac or your PC. Very fabulous. It fucking tells you literally step by step how to brew the beer. It has been great. I know Chris has given me props on my amber I made and my stout I made and other people, and it's just such a gratifying feeling. So, sorry for the unofficial shout out right there. I just had to get out of the way.
That's right. Shouts out to Chris's homebrew that you guys won't be able to try.
Yeah.
Also, shouts out to me accidentally knocking shit into the recording table, which is a chair. All right, we are going to keep on rolling. So, we should jump into, since that's what the fuck this podcast is technically about, what are some of the podcasts you listened to this week, dude?
All right, so the MMA Fortnight, of course, that we all know and love.
As always, Mr. Ariel Helwani.
This past Monday, listened to Mighty Mouse talk about his victory over Wilson Hayes. And to him, it was a way he was saying that he didn't necessarily want to just make an example. He was just doing what he thinks he does well. And Ariel was basically citing him, hey, man, every time we see you fight, you look like you improve. And, you know, obviously that's dangerous for that whole division in general. So, for those who didn't see last weekend's card, Demetrius Johnson successfully tied Anderson Silva's record of 10 consecutive title defenses in a row.
Yep, and we'll talk about that in a bit, too.
So he was interesting. Oh, and he was mainly talking about Twitch And Ariel finally says, I am now subscribed to your Twitch channel, so this is exciting for me.
Which is hilarious, because then DJ later goes on to explain that all Ariel did was follow his Twitch channel and not actually subscribe.
Yeah.
So hopefully Ariel becomes a sub, like I've been for the last fucking 15 months. Ariel, you lazy bitch. And by the way, I got my like whatever belt that is on his channel
That's
for
right,
15 months, because that shit's up there.
I also listened to Rose Namajunas. She explained how she was able to take out Michelle Watterson. Her
Awesome
fiance, Pat Barry, was in the background being funny.
As always.
She was talking about her mindset. She was just thinking the next step for her is just a title shot. So I think she's just going to take some time off and just evaluate what happens between Joanna and Jessica Andrade this coming couple months, I believe, right? Fighting soon.
Yeah,
no, 211 in May. That's right. Wow, because that's an absolutely stacked card. Holy shit. So there's that fight. I will go through this real quickly after she spoke. I listened to Cub Swanson talk about how he thinks Artem Lobov definitely does have some skills in the stand-up, but it's to the point where he doesn't think he's going to be able to hang with him throughout the fight, and he wants to make an example of him. Good on you, sir. I really hope to see that, and I expect to see that. That should be fun.
Yeah, Cub also had some other interesting shit. I don't remember what it was, though. Oh, God.
Well, I know him and his girlfriend just had a kid like a week or two ago.
That's right. Oh, you know what? No, I'm thinking of the Unfiltered podcast.
Oh, because he was
we'll
on Unfiltered.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
Yeah. So, speaking of Diego Sanchez, he spoke for 45 straight minutes about why
fire.
It was great about why he chose his new nickname, Lionheart. It was about a heart transplant. He talked about how he almost had a heart attack, in camp against John Jones or after fighting John Jones. And I only listened to about
Le Corazon de Leon.
Yeah, exactly. Either way, he's bona fide badass motherfucker. This guy.
And then also he did mention that once Diego thought he was having a heart attack for 3 days, he went to the doctor, and they told him, "Hey, you're totally fine," and then magically it was cool. But that was because God helped him.
Oh, he did say that, yeah.
Yeah, he also mentioned that he got his medical marijuana license, and he heard about how CBD is good for the brain, and Cowboy gave him some cream that helps with Cowboy's knee that's fucked up. And evidently Diego can't handle his shit, and it gave him basically a week-long panic attack.
Oh, great.
Because he was like, fucking weed, man, weed, bro, weed, sativa, it'll help you stay awake, indica, it'll help you sleep.
That's fucking great.
He was doing the weirdest shit with the impressions.
Yeah, I didn't get to the whole thing.
He also said at one point, Christians think, you shouldn't be smoking weed. Shit's I don't know.
I never heard that growing up Catholic. All right.
I think it's just Diego being
My mom
crazy.
never told me, Christopher, don't smoke weed. She just told me, Christopher, don't do that. You're going to hell.
No, for sure, all the problems Diego experienced because of weed was because of the actual weed, not because Diego's crazy as shit. I love Diego.
Understandably.
Oh boy, that episode was.
So that's all I had from there. I didn't listen to Aljo or Tom Dukin.
Aljo was great. I did have a couple notes on him. He said that he's flipping a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in Arizona because that market's super cheap right now because he's doing the real estate game, much like Al Iaquinta.
That's right.
It's hilarious. I mean, they're both into real estate. Especially since they're going to fucking Arizona because it's super cheap and easy to flip houses in Arizona because the market's super saturated. So
every house is a pool and air conditioning.
Everything turns over every 6 months anyway in that area because everyone wants to be there for 6 months. And they're like, fuck this heat. How can we get closer to the coast?
Exactly.
It's fucking hilarious. And then, I think all my other notes were about how so much crazy person bro logic from Diego. It was a lot of notes like that. Oh, he said at one point, I think it was one of the valves in my heart that wasn't letting me get enough oxygen. It's like, what the fuck?
Let's see. I also listened to UFC Unfiltered. The episode I listened to was the one with, it was Al Iaquinta at the end, but in the beginning, it was John Dodson.
Yep.
That's right.
Great episode.
Yeah, it was fantastic. John Dodson, especially with all the other small fighters who talk about video games and comic books, of course. Matt Starr loves all that. They were talking about...
he's a huge MOBA fan.
Yeah, I remember John Then we're talking about, what do you think of the ideas of creating multiple weight classes, in between, like a 165 or like a 195 or like a 220, something like that. And I can't remember if John necessarily said he was on board with that per se, but I know John was talking about the whole video game thing. I know it's every single time a guest is on, they always recommend Battlefield 1, and of course Matt was like, was that like a lesser version of Call of Duty? I'll just take it from here. As a person who plays video games, no, it's actually more fun than Call of Duty in my opinion. It's more teamwork based.
It's adult Call of Duty.
Yeah.
It's Call of Duty when you don't want to just hear swear words and run in circles.
Let me ask you, Pulver, what was the last Call of Duty game you played? Legit. Probably Call of Duty 4, World at War?
Modern Warfare 2, I think.
Okay, see, that's fair. See, for me, it was Black Ops 1, which is what, right after, and that was it.
So that's the one before.
And then guess how after that? Battlefield 3, and the rest is history. It's fucking fantastic. But yeah, so I get
Battlefield is the adult version of those games.
Oh, and they just announced today the new Call of Duty's World War 2, but that's about 10 years too late. So
did they announce that?
Yeah, it's World War 2. Good for them.
Hey,
have fun with their supply drops.
No, I never hate games where you shoot Nazis. Those are always generally good.
Oh, it's great. But so they're on the bandwagon
but...
a little too late. Yeah, no, see, Wolfenstein's fucking great.
Okay, anyway, we should get back on topic, but... that interview was actually good. They did talk also about how they found...
Oh, John Dawson Chuck E. Cheese, right? Yep. Because I was on the freeway, and I didn't have my Bluetooth at the time, so I couldn't kind of hear him all the way. He was talking about a police officer was at his table he was entertaining. Who was it again? How did he meet Greg Jackson?
I forget the guy's name, but he was a dude who's been training at Jackson's forever, and used to have
Chris Latroy, he said.
Yeah, Latroy.
Yeah, it was the guy that was at the table.
That.
He's like a jiu-jitsu coach.
Yeah.
That ended up
I'm probably butchering that name.
I know, I am
it's like how everyone tries to pronounce Tom Duquesnoy, which evidently me and John Anik are the only fucking people who knew that going into this weekend.
See, I only heard it because that's the only way I've heard it.
I've only heard it because of... I think I've only heard it because of John Anik mentioning it.
I'm assuming everyone else says Duquesne or something like that, yeah?
I've heard a lot of Duquesnoy.
Duquesnoy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Duquesnoy.
Yeah.
Jesus fuck.
It's good stuff. But actually, I believe you said one of those last week, so...
I probably... I think I said Duquesne, and I was like, wait, that's wrong.
Yeah, something like that. No, but it ends in OY, I think. So you might have gone...
Well, no, I said WA because I watch NHL, and like a lot of the goalies are like ROY, which is actually
Trust me, I got you. Yeah.
That's why I was like, this fucker's
French,
Canadian or French
welcome
Canadian.
to French Canada, yeah. Jordan Braden's got you covered. Shouts out to that dude. Who I don't think had an episode of a podcast this week, which is crazy. Anyway, we should get back to... so John Dodson, he talked about that. They talked about video games. It was just a good John Dodson interview. Who's the other person on that?
Alan Aquinta. He was basically talking about...
the real estate stuff that we already covered.
Real estate stuff we've covered, and basically after that he was just talking about what he's looking forward to fighting Diego Sanchez, that kind of thing. Yep. With fiery, blah, blah, blah.
Did you hear the other episode of UFC Unfiltered with Cub?
No, see, I wanted to, but since I heard him on Unfiltered, I figured I wouldn't. That's selfish of me.
I just said the other Unfiltered with Cub.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I heard him on MMA Hour. That's why I decided not to listen. How was he Unfiltered, though?
It was hilarious. He was pretty hilarious. He went on to talk a lot about his upbringing. Well, I shouldn't say hilarious because his upbringing is super depressing, but he talked a lot about his
kind of rooted in, like, poverty, unfortunately.
Well, just, like, crazy circumstances. Like, he was adopted at one point, and, like... There's a lot of crazy story there.
Because I know he identifies as like a Mexican American kind of thing, right? Yeah, like. Because I know someone asked him before.
Yeah, I believe so. And he just had some crazy stories about his upbringing and like growing up homeschooled and like growing up being in the church and then like coming out of the church and being a badass and all this shit. Just kind of interesting overall. But more importantly, motherfucking Eddie Wineland had one of the coolest interviews I've heard on that show. It was hilarious. Eddie Wineland tells a crazy story out the top, which was not hilarious, about his brother being a fire victim.
Oh, shit.
And he tells this horrific part about... you don't think about it, but when you get a skin grafts don't grow. So if you get a skin graft when you're young, eventually it gets to the point where it's about to tear, so they then have to cut it and add another skin graft. So it was a horrific
aren't
story.
Skin grafts where you just take extra skin from another part of your body and kind of paste it on top?
Or someone else's, yeah.
Man, dude, I can already tell what kind of shit.
Yeah, because his young brother was in like a fire when he was really young.
That's rough.
Yeah, but Eddie Wineland went on to tell a bunch of crazy stories. Oh, he talked about having a broken jaw and having a deviated septum, which is one of those things that
at the same time.
Well, yeah, because that's one of those things I've always worried about. Because I've got a super bad deviated septum, as I'm sure you can hear when I fucking talk like a nasally bitch all the time. But Jim Norton was the one that brought it up because Jim Norton has a super bad. Jim Norton has a super bad. Why am I blanking so bad? Thank you. I fucking super blanked. Jim Norton, yeah, has super bad deviated septum, and he says it's one of his biggest fears. And Corolla talks a lot about it too. Anybody with it's gotten a really bad broken nose and was just like an adult about it and didn't go to the hospital pretty much has one. But he talks about, oh yeah, I got my jaw shut, and then when I woke up, I was just staring at this nurse, looking at her like, this fucking nurse is gonna be the last person I see before I die because I can't breathe through my fucking nose and my jaw's wired shut. And he figured out he can breathe through his teeth. Which, again, horrifying.
Yeah. Especially when you yawn.
Yeah. And it's actually interesting that Eddie told that story instead of Cub, because both have gotten their fucking jaws
remember when Cub told Ariel,
times.
this was like 8-9 months ago.
The buzzing. We've talked about it on the show.
He said yawning is the most terrifying thing ever when your jaw's wired shut.
Exactly. He also told some cool stories about how he's super into stingrays. Eddie Wineland builds his own aquariums.
That's kind of cool.
He's got 3 different aquariums, and he has I think his biggest stingray is 36 inches nose to tail.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they're huge. He said his biggest tank was 6 by 6 by 2.
Well, because I remember someone told me there's the difference between stingrays, devil rays. I know manta rays legit are fucking 5 feet long, they're massive.
Well, I know for sure if your name is Steve and you're Australian, don't touch them.
Don't be in the ocean.
Right, I know.
You get fucking pissed.
Right. You get Robert Whittaker.
Sure.
Yeah. Wait, no, the other way around. You get Jackarade.
You get fucking gated.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Anyway.
Yeah. Shouts out to the late Steve Irwin for all those crocodile.
Nah, maybe not. He was kind of a dick. He just kind of jumped on animals.
I mean, to be fair, he did have a crocodile in front of his daughter. Yeah.
Also on that episode, Matt Serra mentioned that he wanted to have Matt Hume in studio sometime,
dope, yeah.
Which would be awesome because Matt Serra is a big Matt Hume fan because he knew him back when he was fighting in Pancrase and shit. Back when Matt Hume was a bad motherfucker. If you guys don't know, go on Fight Pass, watch yourself some Matt Hume fights. He was fucking up some Japanese dudes in Pancrase back in the day. Pretty dope. Let's see. What else did you listen to this week?
I listened to Michael Bisping's Believe You Me.
Yo, me too. That show is real good.
Michael Bisping was in Bangkok, Thailand, filming a movie. And
that's a Fast and Furious movie, if you're, I believe. No, it's
it was a different movie.
That's right.
It was called The Third Person something.
Yeah, no.
Some assassin bullshit.
Yeah.
Either way, he was entertaining his co-host, Luis, the Puerto Rican, who totally sounds white, as he made fun of himself.
Yeah,
later.
Luis J. Gomez.
It was entertaining. If I remember correctly, to be fair, I was super high when I listened to it. But Micah was basically talking about the thing that made me laugh is when he mimicked Yoel's voice. He was like, "Hey, kind of like Michael," that kind of thing. And then he made fun of, what is your opinion on people in Southern California who tip in restaurant and who don't tip? And then his voice for a Southern California, "Well, sir, was the business okay?" Shit like that. Like,
is this service okay?
That's the thing too, because I work in a restaurant business. I've been a server for a couple years. I would never ever say that to someone. Well, also, whether or not if I knew, I would know in my own head if I did a bad job. Trust me, I would know if I'm like, wow, well, I fucked up. So hopefully I get 10%.
And also, it's only ever women who do that.
Yeah.
Let's be clear. I don't think I've ever heard, unless the dude loves dick, I don't think I've ever heard him go up to someone and be like, "Excuse me, sir, was this service not acceptable?" Dudes have never done that.
Either that,
or if they have,
for that extra fucking set. Right.
or they're dicks. Unless they're just super dicks.
No, see, I've never seen a dude go, "Hey man, how's the service, motherfucker?"
Yeah, I've seen girls do it before, where it's just always obviously not great. It obviously wasn't great. You obviously weren't awesome. If you were awesome,
Oh,
we wouldn't
I've
be
had it
having
before
this.
where, like, you know, I told you there's, like, this, of course, it's racist as fuck, but, like, everyone has, like, their prejudices.
Here we go.
Okay.
Wait for Chris to say the Jews are terrible.
No, this isn't it. What happened is, so generally when you see, say, a group of people, right, that you assume, oh, they're not going to tip me, I'll just say a certain group tipped me fat because I helped find their wallet, right? So then another coworker,
Totally not Jew.
No, I'll just tell you, spoiler, it's not Jewish people at all. So I'll just tell you that.
I'm just saying.
Either way, I got tipped fat, and then the coach was like, whoa, dude, how did you do that? I'm like, I don't know, because that was extra nice. What else am I going to say? You know what I mean? It was just one of those kind of things. But either way, serving is not fun. I don't recommend ever being a server, a waiter, or waitress to anyone unless you're in college like me and you need cash. So that
was restaurant. That was the restaurant minute with Chris. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I did. I thought it was. Fun.
And real quick, since we're talking about Believe You Me with Michael Bisping,
That's
what
right.
I did find interesting was that he trained with Michael J. White, one of my favorite beat 'em up fucking actor martial artists. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's
sure
hilarious.
he's an actor, but he has some legit skill. I'm
No,
sure.
he's got a Taekwondo black belt.
Dude, that dude's like fucking 40 years old, like straight up. He's old as shit. Do you think, okay, say this dude started UFC or whatever when he was 25, he probably could have been decent, at least, yeah.
I mean, you could say that about anybody with Taekwondo black belt
No, I know.
real school,
But that's why I'm saying that, because how he's now. You know
Yeah,
what
I mean, like, yeah, I would assume so. If he could learn wrestling, all right.
Yeah, and what's your opinion on Bisping saying, "Oh, I want to talk shit on Yoel because about Whitaker because it's hilarious."
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm into it.
Oh, and by the way, right now, you know, Whitaker versus Bisping. Who you got? I mean, I'm going Whitaker just because it's his stand-up and his takedown defense. Because I know Bisping has good boxing as well.
I don't know, man. I think
It's too
Bisping
close.
gives him problems. I need to see.
It's close.
That fight will never happen, though.
Okay, so since supposedly it's going to be real quick, I know we're interrupting ourselves. It's supposed to be Bisping.
We're a series. This podcast is a series of us interrupting.
I know.
ourselves.
But you know how it's supposed to be GSP versus, Bisping? After that, what makes sense? Say Bisping wins. Fuck it. Whatever, right?
Well, Bisping wins. He's gonna fight.
Who does he fight? He's not fighting Yoel. There's no fucking way.
Yeah, it's probably Bobby Knuckles.
Yeah, has to be.
I'm thinking because he doesn't want Yoel.
Not a Weidman either, right? Because Weidman's, he's like an inch taller.
Yeah, it's not gonna be Luke. Even though Luke's gonna try and rally for it, that won't happen. It'll probably be Bobby.
Sorry
Knuckles.
for. I just want to kind of get that away.
No, that's a good. I mean, I agree. I think it'll be. Although the problem is if GSP wins, we're all fucked.
Well, he'll vacate. He's not going to defend. If he does, who does he fight? If he does, who does he fight? Probably like Yoel.
He wrestle fucks Anderson.
You think so, Anderson?
Yeah. No, he wrestle fucks Anderson, then calls out Conor McGregor.
I can see that.
After Conor McGregor refuses to fight Floyd. Or actually, I should say after Floyd refuses to fight Conor, because this is all fun for Floyd. He's not actually.
This is the thing, guys. Fight. I think this fight's gonna happen.
Never gonna happen.
Pulver doesn't.
Never gonna happen.
It's going to fucking happen.
Floyd loves the idea of people talking about him. Floyd does not love the idea of fighting some dumb fuck who he gets very little incentive out of. Like, it does nothing for it. Unless it's going to make him such an insane amount of money that he can't turn it down. There's no fucking way he takes the fight. Yeah. And Dana White and all them are greedy little bitches right now. I should say WME specifically. Where they're not going to drop the kind of money Floyd's going to take. So it's just going to be the same bullshit of Conor saying, I'm ready to fight whoever. Floyd saying, sign the contract. And WME not saying shit because they're not going to pay it.
Pretty much.
And it's gonna be Dana White saying like, "Oh, well, they want too much money. They don't understand how the market works." Blah blah. It's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be, by the time this fight happens, it's not gonna be fun. And by the way, Chris, this fight is banned from discussion. We
have said that multiple times. So, moving on, I will finish what I listened to. The last thing I listened to was Phone Booth Fighting with Frank Mir and a guy named Lewis, who's Puerto Rican. I forgot his last name.
Was it Jay Gomez?
Jay Gomez, yeah.
So it was Michael Bisping's co-host.
Okay, see, that's how fucked up I am. I remember it was a dude who's Puerto Rican and not named Lewis.
That's the one.
No, all right. Either way, Phone Booth Fighting was entertaining because this Frank Mir's host, what's his name?
Richard Hunter.
Richard Hunter, thank you.
By the way, we've been drinking, y'all, and also Richard Hunter's name I fuck up constantly.
Either way, what was interesting to me, the fact he was talking about the brothel talk, and then of course fucking Frank Mir talking about his son sitting next to him, and of course they flamed on Bill O'Reilly, which is great because for anyone who gives a fuck about the news or relevant news, Bill O'Reilly finally got fired from Fox for being a perverted piece of shit. And what they were talking about... And
just a general not nice guy.
Yeah, and what Richard was talking about is he made a news release about how what if Bill O'Reilly was hired at, like, say, the Bundy Ranch. And I don't know, that shit was entertaining as fuck. I thought it was great the way he worded it as if he was fucking President Trump.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. It was really entertaining to me, and I was impressed.
Richard's a very weird kind of media member.
Because he has, like, that radio voice,
Well, that's the thing, is he's a radio guy. So, like, he comes from, like, the kind of media where you are just throwing out crazy shit. Also, he works in a brothel apart, like, half the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a comedian who works in a brothel probably going to say some weird, crazy shit here and there. Especially since he's multiple times mentioned, oh, it's weird when you're trying to talk a person who works in the brothel out of being Christian because they keep telling you to believe in Jesus more.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And you're like, well, you work in a brothel, so maybe believing in Jesus isn't working out for either one of us. It's good stuff. Anyway, I should mention some of the podcasts I've been listening to. I actually listened to a ton this week. I listened to 5 Rounds with Brett Okamoto. You mentioned that to me last week, and he had on Josh Gross, of course, of Sherdog fame, previously banned from UFC events by Dana White, along with Loretta Hunt.
Even
back
before
in the day.
Arrow.
That's right. He was the OG of getting banned by the UFC because he announced the tough winners before they got released. Because, by the way, if you guys don't know, every media member knows who won tough. They just are so scared of getting banned, they don't release it.
That's why I get the credentials. So the
Josh
next episode we do, he'll be like, Chris, all right, let's announce our episode, who the winner is, and then no one will actually hear us say it.
Yeah. We'll do something like that, yeah. Or actually, maybe in honor of that one show, goddamn Sean Funky and the Baddest Man, we'll just bleep
that's
it.
That's right.
Because evidently they're edited now.
Yeah, because we're like, all right, Chris, who won? I'm like,
yeah. Fucking
like, right, fuck you.
Fucking podcast 1 editing people. We'll talk about that in a bit. People I listened to this week. 5 Rounds with Brett Okamoto and Josh Gross. Super interesting discussion about John Jones and DJ and what makes a GOAT. Just exactly what you think it would be. But both those guys have been around for so long and have put so much time in, and they are also good friends, so it's just an interesting discussion.
By the real quick, is someone put in a spot and say, who's the greatest of all time for mixed martial arts? Who are your top fighters? Real quick. I have 3.
Yeah, if I was to go with 3, I'd probably go Fedor, Mighty Mouse, GSP. No, GSP, Mighty Mouse until the next
Originally,
win.
I would say Fedor, GSP, Jones, but now I'm kind of like Fedor, GSP, Mighty Mouse.
If you have a questionable failed test, you are no longer on the list, according to me.
But yeah, see, that's where too. Especially John Jones on the questionable list. But Mighty
Super
Mouse
questionable.
So does Fedor, GSP, Mighty Mouse sound fair?
Yeah, I would say you could probably swap Mighty Mouse and GSP too. Some of that competition that GSP had was higher. Some
because I
remember
I hear the argument like, well, Mighty Mouse never fought top.
Everyone
That's
wants
bullshit,
Jones
though.
in that list, and I don't think he's there. I think DC's a close 4th.
Jones, if I remember, had about 8 defenses successfully, and then not 9. I don't know. I think it was 8, right?
I don't remember, to be honest. I don't know if it was that many even.
I mean, I'll probably look it up now, just out of curiosity. But if I were to guess, I'd say 8. But either way, Mighty Mouse tied the record at 10, I believe it was.
Yeah. Anyway, we should keep moving on with podcasts. But the other thing on that 5 Rounds episode with Josh Gross is Jimmy Manuel called in, talking all kinds of shit.
Do you like how he calls him Daniel in all the tweets instead of just
yeah. I mean, he's so British. How could he not?
Daniel.
Luke Thomas's post-fight show was good. He had an awesome breakdown of how great DJ is. And he also talked about your boy, Bobby Knuckles.
Yeah,
how about your boy, Bobby Knuckles?
Fuck yeah.
I love me
Bobby
some Luke
Knuckles,
Thomas.
mate.
That's right. Did you hear co-main event this week?
Yes, I did.
Okay, perfect. So, co-main event, they talked about how crazy great DJ is. Like, I'm going to mention 18 more times on this week, because every podcast just brings up how fucking good DJ is, which I'm on board with. I agree. He's fucking pound for pound right up there. They talk about the Bobby Knuckles nickname, because I'm pretty sure that came from their show.
Yes, I'm pretty sure it did. Yeah.
I think it was a listener said it at one point.
Yeah,
and they just picked up on it.
yeah, because I remember they kept mentioning it. I was like, oh, Bobby Knuckles, don't forget him, kind of thing. Yeah,
it was pretty great. They also, Chad Dundas, low-key, just saved everyone some trouble from learning how to say Duke and walk correctly. And his new name is Tommy Dukes.
There you go.
Which is the right name for Tom Duke.
Oh, by the way, John
Tommy Dukes is the best.
And by the way, John Jones, before he got in trouble for the steroids, or Viagra, he had defended 9 times in a row. That's his record, yeah. Just for anyone who's curious. So DJ has tied the record at 10. John Jones was at 9.
Right.
And for anyone who's curious.
DJ could kill that record until he dies.
Like 20. Yeah. And 30.
When DJ hits like 50, he might start having trouble.
And real quick, in your opinion, he'll obviously fight whoever's next, probably JB3, Joseph Benavidez 3.
That's what I want, but everyone else keeps saying Ray Borg, like that shit should happen.
See, Ray Borg's only 23 years old.
You see, you were about to pitch that, weren't you?
Well, I just think about that because you mentioned, but realistically, Ray Borg could be like next year, right? However, bantamweight-wise, right? Fuck it. Say Garbrandt beats Dillashaw, and then Mighty Mouse fights him. How do you see that happening? Real quick, because I know we just gotta do it now.
Well, no, Chris, we're not gonna do it now. Okay, I'll tell you why.
That's fine.
Because they both said that fight's not happening now.
Not yet.
Well, right.
Not yet.
Right, which is why we're not talking about it yet.
I know. Sorry. See, guys, I'm just getting excited early because there's
like
all these
the idea
good
of that
fucking
fight.
multiple fights.
I like the idea of that fight too, but I'm not convinced Cody wins his fight right now.
Oh no, trust me. Dude, I told you about too. If for anyone's listening, my brain says TJ, my heart says Cody. What does that mean? Doesn't mean shit. Yeah. So I mean, goddamn. So yeah. Anyway, sorry. You were saying.
I was gonna say, let's see. I think that was all I had for co-main, but I should mention, just because it's been all over the goddamn forums this week, Rogan had Eddie Bravo and Brendan Schaub on.
That's right.
And they spent 3 hours talking about how the earth is flat or not.
That's great.
Oh boy. One thing I will say is I believe I have commissioned, and by that I mean I suggested it on a forum, the greatest piece of art the fucking podcast world has ever known, which is Eddie Bravo as Pythagoras.
Thank you. You showed me that. It was fucking magnificent.
That is also our artwork for this week. If you're wondering why there's a weird photoshopped Eddie Bravo holding a triangle, that is Pythagoras, the man who originally taught that the earth was round, and he was widely known as the guy. And so I asked, what's his name? It is KamuraShops. KamuraShops on Twitter. He was in the forums on the MMA community, and I told him, hey man, can you please make an Eddie Bravo with this? Because that would be the funniest shit ever. And he nailed it in a way I could not have even imagined. So that is our suggestion. I also will have a link to his Twitter in the comments, because he actually gave everybody permission to use his stuff as long as they gave him credit. And that dude is amazing. He takes old historical photos and he photoshops MMA fighters onto them. Chris, I showed you a bunch of them. They're fucking amazing. Yeah, right?
Yeah. The fact that the guy was able to Photoshop is fucking great. It's like that Nicolas Cage bullshit someone did like years ago.
Yeah, like it's like Conor right. It's like Conor McGregor as Napoleon, or like all this crazy stuff. There's an amazing Joe Lozon with as like an old.
Oh no, dude, that shit looks legit as fuck. Like Joe Lozon is like some old fucking 19th century person in the government.
The quality of his photoshops are fucking incredible. I can't even tell the seams. They're amazing. So. Definitely go check that out. We'll have a link in the description. But that is our fucking hilarious, awesome artwork for the week, which I am so proud of that dude for. And I'm so happy I was able to make that happen, because it's amazing. All right, I guess I should get back on topic. I did listen to Believe You Me pilot episode, their very first one. So I wanted to mention Michael Bisping's podcast, Believe You Me, which he does with Luis J. Gomez. They've had a serious show for a long time now. However, Bisping, you can't get serious in the UK. Or in England, or in Europe mostly.
Yeah.
Like, it's like region locked for some fucking dumb reason. So even if you pay for it, you still can't listen to it in that region unless you use a VPN. So they started a podcast specifically to like hook up all his European fans and give them some content.
I liked how he made fun of GSP's accent.
Oh, yeah, we forgot to mention that, how he made a joke to GSP, kept wanting him to come over and fuck, but Michael Bisping was too busy. He's like, wait, bitch.
Yeah. He's like,
but Michael, I want you to come.
I want you to come over to
I want
my
you to
place.
come over and hang out more.
hang
I
out
need
with
your
me,
attention.
yeah.
He's like, hold on, bitch. I'll be there.
And then, like, his Yoel impression, he's like, oh! Bisping! Like that kind of shit. Yeah.
It's real goofy. Yeah, that podcast is really dumb. If you've heard the Serious Show, it's like that. But evidently the Serious Show is censored, which is insane to me.
See, that makes no sense if it's on Serious, too. Like,
yeah, it's probably the better version. I should mention from the pilot episode, that was right after the MMA Awards happened in Vegas.
That's right.
Which, to tie into our previous discussion, is where there was that famous picture of Michael Bisping and Eddie Bravo arguing in the main floor. Yeah. And Bisping addressed it, and he was like, listen, mate, it was open bar. Jason Perillo got all hyped and really wanted to drink a bunch. Yeah. And so we got trashed. And then Eddie Bravo started talking to me about crazy shit. And fucking hilarious.
That's fucking great.
He said there's a little bit of a bitch in GSP. And he said GSP only picked Bisping because he thinks he's easy.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
I don't
Which good one. Never fought at 185. Alright, cool, dude.
Yeah, and he just mentioned again, like we mentioned, the region lock thing. Let's see. Heavy Hands, we talked about that. MMA Hour, we talked about that. Invicta. Holy shit, I've been slacking, y'all. Invicta has a podcast. They had a podcast previously, but it was like basically just the Fight Pass video of TJ interviewing everybody. Their podcast now, they do an all access show on Patreon, and it's pretty great. I definitely recommend checking it out. They have different tiers. Their $3 tier will get you all their audio from all the podcasts they do, which is fucking super fair. Like, I feel like $3 for so far they put up 2 shows this month. $3 for like an hour of content is fine with me. And they're basically just doing interviews. They also have bigger tiers where, like, if you spend $10 a month, you can ask questions and get them answered by certain fighters when they're on. Yeah. And they're guaranteed, if you're a $10 subscriber, you'll get the question on. So it's pretty cool. Overall, I just like supporting Invicta in general.
Oh yeah.
And on their first show, they discussed the Tanya Evinger win. On their first Patreon show, I should say. That, again, we'll have a link in the description where you can find all that, and I absolutely recommend at least throwing $3 and listening to the first couple episodes. I think there's 2 up so far, and by the time you hear this, there might be more. But yeah, they talked about the Tanya Evinger win in the rematch against Yana Kunitskaya, rather. And they talked about the potential of Raquel Paului maybe stepping up and getting a fight. Even though Raquel Pauli's had kind of a rocky record, no pun intended.
I just realized, is Evinger going to stay as the bantamweight champ for now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or is she going to come back to UFC?
They haven't been giving her any shine, which
so
is
this is kind of all on their decision, right? And she's probably going to stand by it?
Yeah, I mean, like,
Well,
I don't think WME knows what to do with Tanya Evinger.
I mean, what I would like to see is her at least be able to be in the UFC.
I want to see her get paid, is what I want. I don't give a fuck where she's at. Send Tanya Evinger to Ryzen if it means she'll fuck some girls up. Like, Tanya Evinger will fuck some girls up in Ryzen. You want to give Tanya Evinger the chance to stomp bitches?
Yeah, because
she will fuck some girls up, yeah. I want whatever makes Tanya Evinger money. That's what the fuck I want. Because that girl is a bad motherfucker, and she deserves some shine. Some other stuff that they mentioned. Oh, Shannon Knapp joined in their second app. Shannon Knapp, of course, the promoter, the Dana White of Invicta. She joined. She talked about potential matchups in the future, as well as some of their future cards they have coming up. So that's a great place to get, like, if you're at all interested in Invicta, I absolutely recommend dropping $3 and just having a constant stream that you can add an RSS feed to of, like, any updates and cool shit. And then if you're like, especially for dudes like you, like, it might even be worth dropping $10 to get a question in and being able to use it for like a.
Oh yeah, if that means you can get a personal question to them.
Well, for $10, that's an article.
Hell yeah,
you know what I mean? If you ask the right question,
just based on one quote alone.
Yeah,
you could stretch out a whole fucking goddamn article.
So you know what? Maybe we'll have to have you do that here going forward, since you don't have a Patreon there.
I should make one though for sure.
You know what? Maybe we'll have you do that and get a question in there for him. Alright, I think the only other ones I wanted to mention, let me look through my podcast quickly, because we're going long so far. I mentioned Heavy Hands. I should briefly shout out the MMA Vivisection is fucking so good. All it is Connor Rebush and Zane Simon. If you heard our previous episodes where we talked about MMA Depressed Us podcast, or if you've seen the MMA Depressed Us podcast playlist we have on our page currently, we'll eventually pull it down, but I just wanted to give them some shine. They're fucking hilarious. They put out the MMA Vivisection, which is just their breakdown, which was awesome. I've been listening to a lot of Eugene S. Robinson podcasts, like Knuckle Up or Care Don't Care. He's out at MMA Nation. Super salty dude who's been training forever out in the East Coast. I like him. He's kind of crazy, but I think he's funny. So that's worth checking out. And I think that covers most of it. I guess Big Brown had Jason Ellis on.
Yes, I followed your shows like 2 before. I haven't listened to the show in years, but social media bullshit, whatever. Yeah,
I'm not a huge Jason Ellis fan, so like it did.
Yeah, that's just a me thing. He's either a hit or miss. I only listen to when I told you I used to work for my dad, learn newspapers. So you gotta have something that's new. He's exciting to me, blah blah blah. He was just on Howard Stern show, that kind of thing too. Yeah, I know he's been training with Dominic Cruz a lot because Jason Ellis has an MMA fight coming up in like the next month.
Oh, that'll go well.
Yeah, good for him. He's like almost 50, so good for him. I mean, but that's me, being a listener to the show.
That dude loves concussions.
Anyway. Skateboarding to MMA. Good choice.
Yeah. And also just letting MMA fighters punch you in the face.
Over
like
heavyweights. Shane Carwin knocking the fuck out. Yeah.
It's great. It's a great idea fighting Shane Carwin. Great idea.
With one hand, too.
Yeah, and I mean, he only needs one when you're fucking.
I mean, to be fair,
100 pounds less than him.
Yes.
Anyway, other things I should shout out quickly here. Mickey Gall was in LA all weekend.
Right on.
Or all week, I should say. He visited Joey Diaz's podcast. He did
Stars of Death, motherfucker.
That's right, Churchill. What's happening now? Cocksuckers. Mickey Gall was in the studio. They talked a lot about Jersey. They talked a ton about BJJ. If you want to hear about Joey Diaz struggling in jiu-jitsu and Mickey Gall being like, that's
isn't
dope,
Joey
though,
Diaz a blue belt now?
Yeah, he's a blue belt now.
Yeah,
that's dope. Yeah,
that's fucking tight.
Yeah, because Joey's always like, I fucking suck dick at jiu-jitsu, dog. And Mickey Gall's like, you're a fucking blue belt under a high-level guy. That's not
terrible, dude. Look at your size. Fuck your blue belt.
Joey's a beast. For real. Joey on the low will fuck your shit up if you're not careful. He'll just go Brooklyn on you anyway.
That's fucking tight, though.
But, it was a great episode. They also, Lee's dad is in studio, and Joey Diaz tries to get him to take acid the entire episode. So that's worth checking out. Other episodes that Mickey Gall was on, he was on Punch Drunk Sports Podcast, excuse me, where he sat in and talked basically just UFC shit. I'm only about halfway through, but I know he sat in, and he's been on the show a bunch of times. They've been pushing him forever, since way back in the day, because he's an old school Death Squad fan, so Mickey Gall in general is super fun to listen to. And then lastly, Mickey Gall was on the Punch Drunk Sports Podcast, Patreon episode where they also had Bert Kreischer. They basically are just hanging out at the Comedy Store.
Is Bert Kreischer the dude who always takes his shirt off? And
The Machine.
He talks about how he's in the Mafia.
Yeah, the Machine.
Right? Yeah.
Right? No, he's not in the Mafia, but he hung out with the Russian mob.
That's what I meant. Yeah. I remember that's that thing that keeps going around YouTube, the Facebook.
The Machine.
Have you seen this guy? I'm like, yeah, I know who Bert Kreischer is. So
yeah.
Evidently, his video is popular among the casuals. Right?
Also, I would recommend.
He's hilarious though.
If you have not heard the Bert Kreischer, Tom Segura fat episodes of Joe Rogan Experience.
Oh shit!
Joe Rogan had they had a weight loss challenge.
Oh, is that the weight loss challenge? Yeah, the slim down challenge.
Where they had I think we talked about this on the show before, but they had a pre
That's
weigh in
amazing.
and a post weigh in, and on the second,
that's amazing.
Because they had 2 days to weigh in. And on the second day, Joe ordered them a bunch of pizza, and they all got fucked up. And it was hilarious.
And drank vodka, right?
I think it was Jack Daniels and vodka
shit.
and like a ton of pizza. It was great. I should also mention the MMA Outsiders podcast is good this week. They talk about the DJ win. That's, of course, the podcast with Jeff Sherwood and Josh Gross, who I mentioned earlier. Talk about how dominant DJ is and how he's a beast. Jeff Sherwood gives his 5 crazy Uber stories from the weekend because he's an Uber driver, which are all fucking insane. One of them has to do with an old lady pulling her tits out. And then Josh Gross mentioned that he went to SC State, which I totally forgot about.
Oh, right on.
And then they start telling old Tijuana stories.
Oh, great.
So that's all worth checking out. It was very good. They're back on their Patreon only episodes.
See, I would mention something about Tijuana Store for me, but I think my mom listens to this podcast, so
ours?
My mom legit listens to this podcast.
No, why would you do that to me?
I know. See,
I say
now it made you more
horrible
conscious.
things.
Yeah, it made you more conscious about it. I
it's gonna
swear to
get
fucking
worse.
God. Hi, Mom. I know you're listening. I'm sorry.
That's right. I'll try to say cunt as much.
No. Yeah, my mom doesn't care. She's chill as fuck.
No, your mom's funny. So.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No, like that's why you don't hear me.
No pressure. No pressure. Totally not gonna say the C word. I'm not gonna yell cunt anymore, y'all. That's my new mom's resolution for you.
Sorry, Mom.
But well, if you made it this far, I feel like I might not have to.
No. My mom doesn't care, to be fair. So obviously at this point, but
well, to be fair, this is a podcast for moms. That is our main advertising structure. We've always referred to ourselves as the podcast for moms.
Yeah.
So the Sound of Violence, the podcast for moms.
So where were we again?
I was gonna shout out any other notes that I had since that's all the podcasts I listened
Honestly,
to.
I didn't really listen to much, unfortunately, too. This is like my last 2 weeks of my semesters. I'm kind of fucked with like my schedule.
Yeah, the only other things I had to mention was that it was hilarious that someone made a GoFundMe to send Eddie Bravo to the stratosphere.
That's right.
So that they can make him believe he landed on the moon.
Like, you know those YouTube comments? I always hear one called Stratosphere Dominic, and it shows Dominic Cruz, like, with clouds above him. We're like, I beat Cody next time. Like, fuck you, bitch. You couldn't even beat him in regular, elevation, pussy, shit like that. There's like advantage of that and stuff.
It is really getting interesting. So we will be back. We're gonna recap the UFC on Fox.
Well, the Ultimate Fighter, to be real,
and Ultimate Fighter, and we will briefly mention Bellator main event.
And wait, there is a card this week. It's Nashville, and we will cover that.
Well, yeah, that's in the third segment. So.
Oh Jesus Christ, Mary and Joseph.
We're still in the first segment because we're lagging.
Damn.
Actually, I guess we're on normal time. We're just high and drunk is the difference.
Yeah.
Hi,
sorry,
Mom.
Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, not sorry. Right, I already mentioned that. I got real excited about nothing. So we'll be back. Wait, what are we listening to? We mentioned it earlier. I had a great clip of
Eddie Bravo Round Earth.
Fuck.
Flat Earth.
I mean, I might have to be it now. I had a great clip of somebody. Here, wait. Let me look briefly at my notes again. Oh shit, it's on this. Oh god, y'all, I'm fucking this all up. Here, you can listen to me take a shot while I look this up. This won't slow down the process or make it more painful. Oh my god, and my phone's freezing now. Anyway, this is going to be a clip of whatever the fuck I thought it was going to be. We'll address it as we come back in. Oh wait, no, this is the one I had you listen to.
Oh yeah, that's right. Fuck.
Do you remember what it was?
No. God damn it, sorry.
It was 50 minutes ago. How did we forget already?
I don't know.
Connor Rebush. This is Connor Rebush talking
right.
about the intro to... I didn't even edit there, y'all.
Fun.
I finally remembered. No, he was talking about the intro to Heavy Hands for this week.
That's right.
Where he was giving himself a shout out and Pat Wyman for picking correctly that Bobby Knuckles was going to stomp...
That's right. Yeah.
Stomp Robert Whitaker, or Bobby Knuckles was going to stomp Jacare, just like I called as well on this show last week, thanks to them. Because they pointed out how good his takedown defense is. So we'll talk about all that, as well as how hilarious this clip is in a second. Terrible outro for this segment. Too bad.
I'm your boy, King Connor, the shot caller. I got Precise Wyman with me here. You know, Pick'em Squad is lit. We're live. Y'all thought that Bobby Knuckles was going to get choked out by Jacare Souza, but guess what? What happened, Pat?
Bobby, first of all, I have no comment at all whatsoever on whatever it is that just happened there.
Now keep it rolling. Keep it rolling.
Robert Whitaker, man. Robert Whitaker, fantastic. And, you know, we'll just take 1 second to note that we did, in fact, call it. We so rarely get one of these right, it feels like.
I don't know, man. I've been feeling pretty good about my picks lately, which is exactly why, like, 2 weeks from now, when it all comes crashing down, I'm going to... I'm going to once again come to the decision that I'm desperately trying to get to a point in my career where I don't have to make predictions anymore.
All right. We are back, everybody. We are going to go over what the fuck page did I click on SureDog? What the fuck? We are going to go over the UFC on Fox 24 card. Oh, but you know what? Before we do that, I want to bring something up. I'm going to Google Grabaka Hitman, and I'm going to go to the WordPress site. Which is awesome. Alright, sorry about that. I had to edit some shit because I was flipping through I had to close some tabs and figure some shit out. Anyway, my point was, this is a crazy weekend of fights. I saw so much shit this weekend. Let's see. Let me go through all the shit that I watched. I did watch the Extreme Fight Grand Prix tournament, which was an 8-man, one-night tournament. That I actually texted you about. Turned out that was a kickboxing tournament.
Yeah, see,
not an
I
MMA
was a
tournament.
dick because I wasn't able to check it out because I was too high, unfortunately.
Well, good news is all you missed was a kickboxing tournament, not an MMA tournament. Still pretty cool, but not
still,
amazing.
man.
Victory FC 56 was cool. Sean Wheelock commentated it, which I always am a big fan of. Of course, Sean Wheelock from the Sean Funky and the Baddest Man podcast. So that was worth checking out. Bellator 177, Dantas versus Higo. Oh boy, not my favorite of cards. The main event was kind of lackluster, and Higo blew weight so fucking
was it
bad.
Darian Caldwell?
He was supposed to take that. He was supposed to take that fight.
So who won?
Well, Darian Caldwell got injured, so Higo fought, and then Dantas won by split decision, which Joe Warren is real happy about, as you can imagine.
Oh, he's the bantamweight too. That's right. Yeah.
Yep. Joe Schilling had a crazy fight.
And built for kickboxing.
Yep. And
I think he won by unanimous.
Yeah, I did not catch. Oh, I did catch Road FC, but I don't remember shit from it because I was so drunk at that point. Because it started at fucking 3:30 a.m. 12:30 p.m. or a.m. However you want to fucking qualify that. ACB 57 I have not watched yet. I actually literally had that tab open in the other page, and the only other thing I watched was I didn't watch Valor, didn't watch CES. Was there anything else? I guess it was just Johnson Hayes.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, Ryzen. Duh.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Ryzen was fucking Ryzen. what's his face got starched with the quickness.
Crookshank.
Yeah, Crookshank got fucking killed.
God damn.
But yeah, if you guys are looking for like every combat sports shit that's happening on a weekend, go to Grabaka Hitman's website. I'll have a link in the description because it's fucking incredible. Anyway, we will get into UFC on Fox 24, Johnson versus Hayes. Man, pretty good card overall. What do you think?
Yeah, I liked it a lot, man. Immediately, I know they noticed they had the exclusive Fight Pass fights, so I put that on immediately on my Xbox. Ketlin Vieira looked real good in the clinch against Ashley Evans Smith.
Super good.
Veteran. I was really impressed with Vieira's performance, man.
And the way she was just able to dominate the cage game.
Yeah.
Like, she just kept getting the better of every clinch exchange, it felt like.
And to be fair, Zach Cummings, was he the guy who looked like Charlie Bronson? Because I remember Trevor, who was the guy who looked like Charlie Bronson with the mustache?
That was Pat Cummings.
Patrick Cummins. Yeah, that's right. Sorry. So excuse me to all the Cummings or Cummins.
I always fuck that up too.
Zach
Cummings was the dude who put the choke in so deep that he put Nathan Coy to sleep. At which point, Mike England let them sit there for another 20
that's
seconds.
when he barely tapped him. He was like this, and he's a fucking idiot. Yeah.
Mike England never not fucking up.
Who's your favorite ref since the fucking Tanya Evanger fight, if I remember correctly?
Oh, and that's not his only fuck up. He's had like 10 over his career. I retweeted back in the day a post from like 2010 or 2011 of Jordan Breen literally saying, this dude should never be allowed to ref anything. And that was from like 2010 or 2011.
So
he's like, he's going to get someone seriously hurt.
Mike England needs to fuck off. Zach Cummings, see, because I got confused with Patrick Cummins, not with the ING.
Yeah.
After that, Anthony Smith versus
Lionheart.
Andrew Dirty Sanchez, who's the winner of...
Wait a minute. His name's Lionheart, too.
Wait. Who is?
Anthony Smith.
No way.
I just realized this for the first time.
That's fucking
Lionheart.
crazy.
So first off, Diego, come on, bro. Second off, Anthony Smith proved the Lionheart with the fucking head kick in the third round. He was losing that fight 100%.
It was yeah. Sorry, Anthony Smith was the victor. He was fucking bad.
Yeah, he was losing majority of that fight, and then he just fucking eventually gassed what's his face, Andrew
Sanchez, who won
so bad. Yeah. He gassed him so bad that he throws this one head kick as the dude's against the cage, and it was so ugly. And then he just finished super strong.
It was great because Andrew Sanchez was pretty much winning that fight the whole time, and he fucking poured it on at the end.
Yeah,
Andrew Sanchez was the winner of Tough 23, which is 2 years ago now. For anyone who's curious, that was a good fight. Devin Clark and Jake Collier.
Put the pace on Jake Collier. The only thing I remember is
Devin Clark was the superior wrestler, if I remember correctly.
That was basically the fight.
Yeah, like you just said, he put the pace on him. That was a good fight. Aljamain Sterling, or Aljo, as you would call him in Matt Sar Ray Longo's camp, finally had his redemption in the past 3 fights. He beat Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu expert Augusto Mendes.
Super dominating performance.
Aljo looked impressive with his BJJ, especially considering he's a purple belt. At least what they said, compared to a black belt expert. That was fantastic. I'm glad he was able to pull that win off.
Yeah, it's super impressive, and Aljamain Sterling...
I liked how he let his hands fly, man.
Well, his striking was way more crisp. He used his hands way more, and he wasn't nearly as relying on that bullshit outside kicking game that he used to be.
Yeah.
But also in this fight, there were some amazing scrambles that went down, and overall, Aljo just was able to either get top position or get out, and it really was the reason why he got that win. Super impressive performance, and I hope we see more of that kind of Aljo going forward, where he's confident in his hands and he's throwing a lot of crisp, long strikes, take advantage of his length.
Yeah.
Speaking of fucking crisp long strikes, this next fight had none of it.
Oh, dude, for anyone who's a wrestler or
Tim
a
Elliott,
grappler,
Luis
this
Smolka.
is
Holy
fucking
shit.
tight. And remember I texted you, my internet went out right after the first round, man, so I missed the last 2 rounds. So since you saw it all, how would you surmise this fight?
Crazy grappling scrambles in which Tim Elliott mostly got top control or escaped guillotines.
Okay.
That's most of this fight. It was exactly how this fight what looked on paper. I actually liked Lee Smoka going in. I thought he was going to take it. But he just kind of had not a lot of answers for Tim Elliott scrambling.
So, since Elliott was ranked 9 and Smoka 11, I mean, I know the flyweight division, I don't want to say it's depleted because that's not fair because there is talent there. What kind of fight do you give Elliott? Since he's clearly a top 5 talent in my opinion. He's up there. He's one of the best.
I would have to look at the rankings, but
I would
say
give him like Ali Bagatinov
or like a yeah. Oh yeah, because he's fly. Is he staying a flyweight or is he going back up?
Now, I mean, if he made a weight today or last week and he looked great. I mean, goddamn.
He could take like a.
I mean, if I'm him, I go to Bantam, but that's because I'm 5'7".
Yeah, I just don't trust him at that
big.
weight. I don't know.
I feel like he's going to miss weight.
I mean, he never has, but I would just prefer to see him at that weight. I think it's because his cardio is really what hurts him at 135 or 125. Yeah. Like if he has some dope cardio, he'd be a beast. But his cardio is what gives him problems. Anyway, we'll keep going. Rashid Magomedov against Bobby Green. This is a split decision. I thought Rashid had this pretty handily.
I thought so too.
Bobby Green had some forward pressure, but I feel like
this was a lightweight fight, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the majority of this was pretty handily.
And Magomedov was Dagestani, of course, right?
Yeah, yes. A lot of wrestling. Yes. Tom Duquesnoy took on Patrick Williams.
Duquesnoy looks fucking good.
Yeah, he got bombed on in that first round.
Right? He's French, right?
He got bombed on in that first round, though. But then by the end of it, Patrick Williams was so fucking gassed that, Tom Duquesnoy landed a nasty elbow, and then he landed a nasty knee, I think, at the end of that round too. And then it was elbows that ended up finishing it. But Tom Duquesnoy is a beast. But yeah, a lot of people coming out of that are kind of curious about his cardio and his defense and how that's going to work out for him. On the underground, people were questioning why Roy Nelson was not on the main card against Alexander Volkov. This fight is why Roy Nelson was not on the main card against Alexander Volkov.
Could I guess that he quit halfway through like he did the last fight?
Well, no. It was just like Roy Nelson has 4 minutes worth of cardio and looked so goddamn big. As a fat guy, looked so goddamn big in this fight and was so out of gas so early on.
Oh, no.
And Volkov was using his length really well, which was really hurting Roy because it wasn't letting Roy really get the better of any of the wrestling or striking exchanges. Roy landed a couple decent strikes. Volkov was running a little bit at the end. But overall, super unimpressive performance in general. Volkov, I feel like, did well, but didn't put a stamp on anything at all. And people in the underground were like, why you gonna put a chick fight in the co-main? Roy Nelson's on the fucking prelims. You're like, this is why. The fucking chick co-main was awesome. The fucking prelim main event was not awesome.
It's terrible.
So, speaking of frustrating decisions, Jeremy Stephens, Renato Carneiro.
This is one of those fights I watched. I felt like Jeremy Stephens, if he was able to control his distance, he could have had a chance to knock out Renato Moricano.
He just kind of set nothing up.
But yeah, he wasn't able to set anything up. He paced himself wrongly, I guess I could say. I mean, I'm not his coach, but I know how I've seen Jeremy fight. He's an alliance guy.
Well,
he usually should have some cardio.
On the broadcast, I forget if it was John Anik or who kept mentioning that Eric Del Fierro wasn't in the corner.
Oh, no shit.
Because Eric Del Fierro was, of course, in Wilson's corner.
That's right.
So, the lack of Eric Del Fierro, he said Eric's really big on emphasizing how feints are important. And Jeremy Stephens was not feinting at all in that fight. Yep. Which is the reason why he had trouble. And I think Anik's on the nose with that one. Because it's the reason why Jeremy just could not close the distance. Super frustrating fight to watch. Renato Carneiro fucking straight turned his back and ran in parts of that fight. Which is the dumbest shit. Because, people accept that as, it's being defensive. It's like, no, that's Being defensive means you're being defensive. Being defensive does not mean turning your back from an opponent and circling and running away to gain space. Like, that's not an intelligent way to gain space. To be fair, too,
if I was fighting Jeremy Stevens, I'm like, well, I don't want to be clipped by this guy who throws heat. So, but yeah, I mean, I know what you mean.
No, but I mean, in general, like, that's not the most effective, nor is it the right way to gain space from an opponent. Like, footwork is the way to do it, not turning and running. Because all that's doing is literally giving your back. Anyway, it was a disappointing performance from Jeremy Stevens, although he really fucking tried. Like, it wasn't for lack of effort from that dude. Like, he was...
Yeah, no, he was trying to knock dude out. Yeah.
He just couldn't figure out how to close the distance and cut off the cage. Like, he would do one but not the other. Like, he would cut off the cage, but then he wouldn't feint at all to actually get inside so that he would circle... Hinato would circle out the other way. It was just that over and over and over again with Hinato landing pot shots. So, tough fight for him. Robert Whitaker on the opposite side. Motherfucker, I nailed this shit. I think I literally called second round TKO.
Yeah, I think I called Jacare because I assumed he'd submit him. But either way, I should have countered the fact that Whitaker's takedown defense is like top 5 in all the UFC.
It's real good.
Either way, I came away impressed. I didn't think it'd be this early that Whitaker would knock him the fuck out, but it was fun to watch. Great fight, great exchanges.
Fight. Dude, Jacare even got him down in the first.
Yeah, because Jacare
he still got up.
Had a hold on him for a second, but...
Popped right back up.
Whitaker's only 25 and Jacare's 37. Not saying that age means anything, but at some point something's going to catch up to you, especially when you got to kind of recollect yourself.
Well, especially how fucking sharp and young Whitaker is. Like, that dude's going places.
He's only getting better.
Man, him and
what fight do you give him next? Just wait for a title shot and say fuck it?
Yes, but you know what the fight I really want?
What, Weidman or some shit?
Nick Diaz.
Well,
Robert Whitaker, Nick Diaz.
Nick Diaz
would be
a natural middleweight,
the greatest fight that's ever happened. That fight would be so.
Who would you have in that fight? I would just choose Whitaker just because he's on fire. To be fair,
I would.
You wouldn't. But to be fair though, Nick Diaz hasn't fought in like fucking 3 years. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but Robert Whitaker. Nick Diaz is so crafty, and he drags people into brawls so deeply, and Robert Whitaker is a pressure fighter. I think it would just be like the most chaos. It would be awesome either way.
Yeah.
I like Nick in that, but I think it would just be I think it would be like fucking one of the greatest fights of all time. Yeah, great fucking performance by Whitaker. I want him to get the title shot against Bisping. I think that's a more fun fight than UL. Also, I'm not a big UL fan since he's a dirty Saltikawa fan. Oh, did I tell you I changed my name on MMA Tycoon to Saltikawa? Yeah, it's Saltikawa. I photoshopped a picture of him with sunglasses on crying.
John Viagra or some shit like that?
No, but I should. I don't have a John Jones character yet. I do have an edgy bra character that's fighting, who, by the way, is going to have this week's artwork as his profile picture.
There we go.
And he's fighting for the title next week at 145 in SFC, the Sydney Fighting Championships, which is the MMA community promotion. So shouts out to that. That game is fucking cool. If you guys don't know about MMA Tycoon, go sign up. It's free. It's cool. And everybody's super nice. Anyway, back to this card. Fucking Robert Whitaker.
The co-main event.
This was an awesome fight.
Namajunas versus Michelle, WME's next star, Watterson.
Pretty sure I called this 100%. Actually, I might have said TKO. No, I said TKO for main.
No, I think we both said submission via Namajunas.
Yep. I believe I literally said Namajunas catches her in the second and chokes her out.
If I said Watterson's, probably because I was too high or drunk. So
I love the irony that Rose Namajunas hit the push-away head kick.
That's right.
Ronda Rousey style.
That's right. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
On fucking
WME. We both thought
WME's...
she was out, and I was like, oh, wait, she's actually bad.
Hit it on WME's new Ronda Rousey, Michelle Watterson, who they've been sending to, like, fucking Q&As in the middle of nowhere for no reason. I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah,
I loved every part of it.
Waterston's a tough son of a gun. Like, she survived. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give her that.
Waterston's chin is insane, especially since she's so undersized for that weight class.
That's right.
She's a 105.
Because they were even coming and was like, well, she's really an atom weight, but the fact that she survived, good on her. That's all. I mean,
dude, and she's been killing girls, but like, it just shows you how high level Rose Namajunas is. Also, I forget who mentioned it on.
Even though she's fought like 9 times.
Yeah. Oh, it was Lineup MMA. Did I mention Lineup MMA this week?
Not yet, because they're called something else.
I totally forgot to do that earlier. Oh, Sean Funky Baddest Man. No, I did. Actually, no, I didn't.
Nope.
Sean Funky Baddest Man did a podcast this week. Fuck, I can't believe I forgot about that. I had notes and everything. Ben Askren explains to you how to bet MMA fights, which will be our next segment. He literally explains how odds work and the right way to bet wrestling. He's like, yo, if there's a young wrestler that no one knows the name of, bet that fucker, because he's gonna win. And he mentioned how he made fucking so much money off betting Daniel Cormier in the Strikeforce tournament back in the day.
Shit.
He's like, I made a fucking fortune doing that shit, which is pretty cool. But Joe Warren on that episode also mentioned how much he fucking loved this fight. And he said that he made a great point about how great these girls' corners are. Between Pat Barry fucking and all the elevation guys behind Rose, as well as Michelle Waterson with all of the Jackson camp.
Yeah.
Like, that is, and both those camps are putting everything into these girls. Like, they are, that's why we saw such a fucking competitive scrap. And Rose did exactly how I thought this fight was going to go. She's just going to win every grappling exchange. And she's not going to play any kind of dumb outside game.
Well, it's funny because Archer asked me, he's like, so say, he's like, Rose fights Joanna, what do you say? I said, Joanna wins on the feet, no chance at all for Rose. And he's like, wow, no chance at all, that's fucking mean. I'm like, well, I'm like, on the feet. I'm like, on the ground, Rose has a good shot. And he was like, oh, okay. Because, I sound like an asshole, don't get me wrong. It's like, no chance at all.
Well, no, it's true, though.
But on the feet, I'm like, come on, bro. Like, you've seen Joanna fight. Like, goddamn.
Like, it's possible that if Rose is able to mix in enough transitions, she catches Joanna on the feet, just, like,
but he didn't understand why I would just prematurely be like, oh, no chance at all, bro.
Absolutely. If you guys don't know, Trevor's been on the podcast before. If you go back and listen to... I don't know, whatever episode we had him on.
Probably like a year ago, like June. I think it was like the UFC 200.
It was at my old place. So it was at least 8 months ago or so. But fucking chaos. A great fight. And I'd love to see Rose get a title shot after this. I think it'd be a lot of fun. And Michelle Waterson, I want to see keep fighting in the division. I think she'll do well.
She still could scrap.
She's top 5 easy. Like, in that division, fucking if Paige is still ranked, like, she's fine. Yeah. Because anyone who thinks Paige is okay.
Yeah.
Like, Paige gets some lucky, like, I shouldn't say lucky. Paige gets some advantageous wins here and there. Like the Beck Rawlings one, I was super surprised by. I thought she was gonna lose that fight, and she was until that head kick.
Until that switch kick.
Which was just. I mean, that's just being athletic as fuck. There's no. I mean, that's talent and being athletic. But I think against anyone with any kind of pressure game, a lot of those girls start having trouble, including Michelle Waterson, who. Like in this one, Rose has such a better transition game and mixing shit up than Michelle. Michelle will go for like, I believe it was TJ DeSantis or someone on Sherdog who mentioned that like Michelle Waterson will go for 8 subs before she actually catches the one she gets. Which like you can't do that shit against Rose Namajunas because she'll just get your back and kill you. Like, she'll just punch you in the face until you decide you don't want to play anymore, and then she'll make you bleed out your face on TV in front of everybody. It's embarrassing, and she will fucking ruin your life. I love Rose Namajunas. What she did to Paige Van Zandt was one of the greatest pieces of art that's ever happened in the Octagon. We will move on to another great piece of art, Demetrius Johnson against Wilson Hayes. Oh, man.
I was very surprised by this.
I love Wilson.
This is the thing.
You talked to him not even that long ago, and he was looking awesome.
This is the thing. I'm not surprised that Mighty Mouse won. I'm surprised in how effectively he won. The fact that it's literally for 50-45 in my opinion. Like, that was all 5 rounds.
Oh.
No doubt about it. Like, holy fucking shit.
Well,
like,
3
the
rounds,
fact that,
yeah.
well, someone said, this is what I don't believe. What belt is Mighty Mouse in Jiu-Jitsu? Nogi. He's at least a purple, right? Like, past blue. Like,
He doesn't actually have belts.
See, that's the thing. Someone said a white belt submitted a black belt. That's what I was like, wait.
Well, that's what he said.
See, that's the thing. I was like, wait.
But
is
it's
this
just
guy
because
that
Matt
good,
Hume doesn't give
or-
out belts.
That's the thing. So, realistically, when I was watching,
Or,
he's at
I
least
shouldn't
like
say
a
Matt-
blue or purple.
Yeah,
Like, real fucking Lucy.
No,
He's at least
no,
purple.
he's like a probably a
brown?
nogi. He's like probably purple brown.
Brown. See, yeah.
Well,
that's
actually,
what
if
I
you're
thought,
subbing
too.
black belts, yeah, you're at least
No,
purple
you're
brown.
at least brown. Yeah.
But
Sorry, I just had to get out of the way the fact that he submitted goddamn Wilson Hayes.
well, he also has talked about he doesn't train much gi jiu-jitsu.
Oh, yeah, but you know what I'm trying to say? The fact that some motherfucker could submit Wilson Hayes, I'm like, well, clearly in my head, I was like, he's the least brown belt.
And Wilson
in my
Hayes,
opinion, you know what I mean? Like,
Wilson Hayes-
goddamn, the fact you can do that, you know.
Wilson Hayes even said afterwards, like, I fucking wish he would have knocked me out. It'd be less embarrassing.
Yeah, that's what he said, too. I'd rather be knocked out than submitted.
It's fucking embarrassing, but like you gotta admit, he's just the best. Like he absolutely is. Like I have a hard time. I know I argued pound for pound probably Fedor GSP ahead of Mighty Mouse, but like not on like 1-to-1 performances. It's just competition. Because if you were to put their performances up against Mighty Mouse, no one.
Well, because nowadays people are talking about,
like,
who fights Mighty Mouse?
Easily, Mighty
People are
Mouse
like-
is better than GSP. If
People
you
are
put it
like,
against
oh, can Cody
performances.
Garbrandt really make 125? I told you, I don't think he can, because there's no way he walks at 146. I just cannot believe that.
No. I think what they're going to do, secretly, I think...
He'll fight Benavidez 3rd time, probably whoop his ass, right?
Or Borg, one of the two.
Borg will be tight.
People are asking for Borg, which I'm starting to think is going to be the thing, which sucks for Benavidez. Because Benavidez, if you look at his record, has never lost to anybody but DJ and, like, I think Dominic. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I think those
fucking-
ideally two people.
It's
Yeah.
insane. It was same with fucking Dodson. Like, some of these murderers are just fucking ridiculous. I believe Dodson might have one more.
He lost technically to Lineker, but we didn't agree with that. Well, I didn't agree with that. But
Adults don't agree with it.
No.
Who know how to fucking score fights in North America. Anyway.
did John Lineker?
Yeah, but what were we talking about?
Just basically, what's DJ going to do next?
Yeah,
I say, okay,
I
so
think-
who does he defend against first so he can break the record?
I want Benavidez. I think it's gonna be Borg.
Yeah, it's going to be Borg.
Or Henry Cejudo winner.
Okay, if Cejudo, like, fucking clearly, like, say he handles Pettis, which I doubt, then yeah, fuck it, give him a shot.
You gotta realize this is WME, not Zuffa, and they like gold
I'm
medals.
talking about me and you as far as
No, I know,
looking
but
at
they
it,
like
yeah.
gold medals, so they'll give it to Cejudo if he wins, probably.
'Cause don't get me wrong, Cejudo looked good against Benavidez.
Not against fucking Demetrius, he did.
No, I know, but I'm saying against.
And could you
I'm saying,
imagine-
trust me, I'm talking about as far as
Could
building
you
up.
imagine what he would do to fucking Cejudo in the second fight?
Oh, he'd fucking just clinch the whole time.
No, I feel like
You don't think so?
I feel like now he'll be more comfortable to where he'll just wrestle fuck him and
Really?
just embarrass him. I mean, look what he did to fucking the black belt Wilson Hayes.
Yeah.
He fucking punched him
Well,
in the head
see,
and
I
subbed
just
him.
assumed he would just clinch him because it was the first time he fucking fucked him up.
DJ likes fucking people up in their own game. The first time he fucked him up in the clinch, I feel like the second time he would want to wrestle fucking
Either way,
embarrass him.
say Cody Garbrandt, right? Fuck it. Say he beats TJ, right? This July.
Here's what I think
which is a long
happens.
shot. Say Cody makes that weight, goes to 125, which I doubt because he
won't.
clearly doesn't look.
Here's what I
146. It's
Here's
all
what I think
bullshit.
happens. DJ defends, gets his 11th win, gets the record. Then DJ and Cody meet at 130. Neither
Yes,
loses
thank
a belt.
you. Yeah.
And remember, DJ mentioned in their interview with Ariel, they talked, and they're not
He said they
fighting
talked, yeah,
next.
off screen, yeah.
That sounds like they made an agreement of like, hey man, if we both meet at 130, neither of us lose a belt. I can't make 125. You're too small for
Were they make
135.
catchweight
Let's
exhibition?
do 130 and let's just make some motherfucking money. And
Yeah.
DJ's like, yep.
Fuck it.
Yep.
But who do you take in that? I would just take Garbrandt.
Well,
almost
it's
just
gonna
the
be
size.
a problem when TJ
Yeah.
beats the fuck out of Garbrandt. Is gonna be the problem.
Oh, you
in
think
that
so?
plan.
Oh,
yeah.
oh, you mean beforehand? Yeah. Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong. See, because I'm with you. My brain, I think TJ's gonna win. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
But-
Because this is the thing. I watched the Garbrandt Cruz fight. Yes, credit to Garbrandt. He won. However, I think Cruz was not 100%.
I think
no fucking way.
I think
no fucking way.
I think Garbrandt, TJ. I mean, not Garbrandt, TJ. TJ, DJ might be one of the greatest fights we've ever seen in the octagon. It's like Dom Cruz versus TJ. Like, I think it's gonna be so fucking technical that it would blow.
Close, yeah.
It will blow people's. I feel like one of them will get the edge though.
Yeah.
I don't know who. TJ.
Are you talking about against Dillashaw? Like,
yeah.
Mighty Mouse
TJ
with
DJ.
Dillashaw?
TJ DJ. Dog.
Yeah.
Plus,
honestly, I'd probably almost.
Can you
give
imagine
that,
Fox's fucking? They're gonna love that promotion. TJ DJ. Come on. If Joe Silva was still around, he would have already made it.
I'd probably almost give that to TJ Dillashaw, just because he has a little bit of size, and because like his striking is probably.
He doesn't have the jiu-jitsu though.
But yeah, that's the thing. Because I remember even Cody Garbrandt fucking pointed out, he's like, "Oh, he doesn't have the jiu-jitsu." He was dumb as
Cody doesn't either.
No, I know.
But Cody's bigger.
But he's got that defensive wrestling.
Well, Cody's
too.
also
got the hand
bigger.
Speed, yeah.
Cody's bigger than TJ.
That's the thing, because I gotta go with speed. If you were to tell me who would win between Mighty Mouse, say Cruz or Garbrandt, I'm choosing Cruz and Garbrandt each time, only because of the size. That's it.
I take Mighty Mouse over Garbrandt most times because of
yeah. I mean, I could see that. Just
as good as
experience.
As good as Garbrandt's wrestling is, I don't think his chain wrestling is as good as DJ's.
That's right.
Because Dom is good at chain wrestling in certain sequences. DJ is good at chain wrestling in everything. So he will, if he misses the double, he'll go to a single. If he misses the single, he'll go to over under.
That is true.
In which he'll dig the under. In which
when he fought Mighty Mouse, he did do that suplex because he's like.
And DJ's great at letting you burn energy, which I feel like could be a problem for Cody, because Cody could easily gas against DJ. Cody could easily gas against DJ if DJ made a move.
So this is the thing. So as far as the bantamweight division goes, fuck it. Who do you see the champ after July? After the Garbrandt Dillashaw fight, whatever you fucking want to call it.
At this point in time, I like Dillashaw.
I do too. So, realistically, who does Dillashaw fight after fighting Garbrandt? I think it's Cruz, because Cruz is perfectly lined up for either one of those fights. Because this is the thing with Cruz. He's battling plantar fasciitis, which technically can't really go away.
I think it might be Dodson.
Really? But Dodson only fights Wineland.
So easy to sell.
Wineland, though. So
easy to sell if he blitzes Wineland, like I think he's gonna this weekend, and we'll talk about it in a bit. Yeah, it's so easy to sell. Fucking Dodson already has a win over TJ.
I know, but it's like
it's so easy to sell.
What happens to Cruz though? Who does he fight? Like Jimmy Rivera or some asshole?
I think Cruz sits on the sideline.
He just I mean, realistically, if you have plantar fasciitis, you set for a year. That's just me.
But also, just like, I don't think Cruz is in any kind of hurry. Like,
oh no, he clearly is fine doing his Fox stuff. But you know what I'm saying, though, because plantar fasciitis is like a year-long, 2 years. Like, it's one of those things. It's so.
It never technically goes away, though, right?
Yeah, no, that's what I read.
It's the herp foot disease.
If you're an NFL player, you're fucked. Yeah. Like, it's gonna, especially for a running back, you pretty much have to retire or just keep it all. So for Cruz, unfortunately, now that he has plantar fasciitis.
Also, Joey Diaz has it, which he calls fucking plantar fasciitis or whatever he calls it.
Yeah. Either way, realistically, I think it's going to be, competition between Garbrandt and Dillashaw, and then I guess Cruz and some other asshole. I don't know. It's kind of hard to call.
I think it'll be interesting either way, but I am excited for what is going to come in those lighter divisions here shortly. Yes, but we will go ahead and wrap up this segment, and then we will be back here in a second with our... Oh, actually, very briefly, we should mention Daniel Strauss, Patricky Pitbull, which you just watched, which fucking cut out on me.
Patricio, but yeah, same thing.
Nope.
No,
yeah, Patricio, you're right. I fuck him up all the time.
No, I fuck it up too.
But... I should mention at the beginning of this card, if you were looking at the prelims on Bellator.spike.com, you're watching the Fast and the Furious movie for like a half hour.
Oh, great.
Because they just kept showing the Fast and the Furious movie. I don't know which one. If you look at our Twitter, you can see it. If you look at our Twitter, you can see it. I literally screenshotted it with the link and the fucking Spike.com and Bellator logo and everything.
Wonderful.
It's fucking ridiculous. So, fucking Spike is gonna bail on MMA. I'm telling you right now. Because they're turning into the Paramount Network. And
Paramount.
They're bailing on MMA, I'm telling you. But they did have a good card. overall, it was pretty entertaining. I'm not going to mention it much, but I did want to say that evidently, so the super... Actually, no. You know what? Fuck Spike, because they don't actually stream live on the West Coast. The illegal stream we were watching of this fucking event, because I can't watch it on my goddamn cable subscription unless it's three hours later. So Patricky Pitbull finishes Daniel Strauss with Patricio, god damn it, every time.
Same thing. They're fucking idiots for naming themselves the same goddamn thing. So
well, I mean, Brazil.
No, it's their fucking fault. It's their goddamn fault.
You gonna yell at the Nogueira brothers?
Not them. I'm talking about the Patricio fucker brothers, because they obviously can't decide between Patricio and Patricky. Like,
are you saying it's better or worse than Antonio Nogueira? No, Antonio Rogerio Nogueira and Rodrigo Rogerio Nogueira.
No, that's really bad too. But I'm talking about
okay.
Now. Trust me, like I'm talking about right now.
Right. Well, and also the nickname Pitbull.
Yeah.
Never been used before.
Like, god damn it, just choose Bulldog or something fucking just as bad.
Well, that's been used also, but more importantly, it was a great fight from what I saw of the first round, and then evidently Patricky, I believe, got the guillotine in the second, like 30 seconds in.
And Patricio, yeah.
Patricio, fuck, I did it again.
We know what you mean.
This is terrible, y'all. So this is my world's worst Bellator recap.
Because Patricio's the 145er, Patricky I'm sure is a welterweight, right? Or is he a 155er? I don't know.
I wouldn't say 50, but...
He's 55er, yeah, he's a weight class above.
Regardless, pretty good card. Parts of it were fun. The chick from San Diego State did get the win via armbar, which is worth checking out. That was pretty cool. 10th platinum chick. She's kind of a beast.
What's her name again?
Oh boy, Chris.
Something. We'll find out.
It's fucking a lot of vowels. It starts with like I and I, and then there's a lot more vowels. She's from Hawaii, so. Anyway, we'll be right back with our upcoming preview of the UFC. What the fuck is this? UFC Fight Night 180 something. I don't know. Lobov Swanson. We'll be back with that and play.
Podcast last night with Mickey, and then we go into my house, and I say my daughter's reading dinner, and I say to them, I say, guys, this is my friend. He is a UFC fighter, and they're like, I don't know what that is. And then he showed him. I kind of explain it the hard way, and then he leaves, and Georgia and Isla officially, let's say, they have a crush on him. Oh, it's their first crush ever. Wow. They've never ever thought a boy was cute, and he left, and then Georgia said something, and Leanne goes, "What's that?" She's like, "No, I'm just saying, like." That mean, seems like he'd be really cool. And I was like, and then Isla said something, and Leanne goes, "Oh my God, do you guys think he's cute?" And they're like, "Well, no, it's just like, well, I mean, yes, of course he's cute." And I was like, "Oh my God,
oh my God,
your first crush."
I'm blushing so hard.
Yeah. Now, more importantly, what did your wife say about him?
She said he was hot. She said that.
She goes,
she goes, "That's the kind of guy I used to date." And I was like, "The fuck you did."
All right, everybody, we are back. That was a clip of Mickey Gall That was a clip of Mickey Gall on the Punch Drunk Sports Patreon episode that they recorded at the Comedy Store in LA. They actually have like a little studio that people are starting to record in there, and they had Bert Kreischer in the room and a bunch of people. Super funny. I believe it's only if it's either $3 or $5 if you subscribe to their Patreon for either $3 or $5. You can get an extra episode a month, or no, a month a week, I believe. Actually, I think it's 4 a month. So check that out. Absolutely worth it and a lot of fun. I am about to take a shot of the last swig of cannabis energy drink and vodka, and Chris. That's right. Since we just had some cabeza tacos for the first time. You had cabeza tacos before?
Yeah, but a long time ago.
See, I haven't, and they're not as...
They're an acquired taste.
They're not as cabeza-y as I thought they would be.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm drunk. Super possible. Anyway, we are breaking down the UFC Fight Night 108 Swanson vs. Lobov card. So, Chris, this first fight, Matt Schnell versus Hector Sandoval. Do you remember either of these dudes?
I know Matt Schnell from last year's Ultimate Fighter competition with the flyweights. I don't know who Hector Sandoval is. I'm assuming this is at bantamweight or flyweight, but I'm pretty sure it's at bantamweight. Am I right when I guess that? I apologize in advance because I have no idea. But usually when they go to the UFC, they go up a weight class.
I believe it's 25.
Oh, right on. Okay. So, Matt Schnell, 5'8" at 125. That's a big size advantage. Hector Sandoval, 5'2". Holy Christ. I'm going with Matt Schnell. Based on size advantage, 6 inches. Holy fucking shit. No disrespect to Hector Sandoval. I am just going to be extremely prejudiced and go with Matt Schnell based on his size. That is my pick. I am standing by it.
So both these dudes are super young in the division. It's gonna be tough. Matt Schnell has that loss to Rob Font in the finale, which was a rough knee and punches. Evidently, I remember Rob Font being dominant. Don't remember Matt Schnell specifically, to be honest.
He's still pretty green.
I do remember Hector Sandoval, and I do remember him putting the pace on Freddie Serrano recently, but he did run into some trouble against Wilson Hayes, who just fought for the title, and getting choked up by Wilson Hayes there's not really a lot of shame in that.
No
so
shame in it at all.
I'm gonna go with Hector Sandoval in this one, especially since he's out of Team Alpha Male. I think he's probably gonna get a lot of work done in this one, but it's a young enough crew of dudes that I think it could probably go either way. Up next, we got Brian Barberena versus Joe Proctor.
I've seen Brian Barberena fight in his last 2 fights, both of which he was the underdog, and both of which he came out on top. Joe Proctor, I've seen during the Ultimate Fighter. I cannot remember what season, but I swear to God he's been the Ultimate Fighter, and he was a scrappy son of a bitch. Yes, he was the Ultimate Fighter. Let me see it. Yeah, Justin Edwards. I think he was like season 13 or 14.
Yeah, he fought in the finale against Yancy Medeiros and lost.
So about like 5 years ago.
Yep. And he recently took the loss to Magomed Mustayev, which again, no shame in losing to a Russian because they're fucking monsters.
And probably a Dagestani.
I believe so with a name like Magomed Mustayev.
Oh, then you got Brian Barberena. Oh yeah, he just fought Colby Covington. With Colby Covington out of American Top Team, training with Jorge Masvidal. That's his fucking brother right there. No shame in that. Yeah, you know what? I'm going with Brian Barberena, man, in this fight. I like who he trains with. I like who he's fought recently. I know Joe Proctor's a scrappy guy too, but yeah, I just like Barberena, man.
Me too. I like Barberena mainly because Joe Proctor hasn't fought since 2015. Or it's December 2015, but still that's a long time off. And especially coming off a loss back then, I feel like Brian Barberena is real scrappy, real tough, and very good at adjusting to other people's game plans. So I think it's going to be a tough outing for Joe Proctor, but I think it will be a very scrappy, fun fight.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be back and forth.
Close for everyone.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Up next, we got Alexis Davis versus Cindy Dandois. I love this fight.
Wasn't Cindy Dandois one who was fighting at featherweight in Invicta?
Yep.
Okay.
She was a featherweight in Invicta, fighting at 135 in the UFC, which is probably her natural weight class. Just based on her build at 145 and the way she was like outsized by every 145er.
Was she kind of small for that class?
Every one of those girls were way bigger than her at 145 that she fought. It was a weird. It felt like she basically was taking those fights just to get experience at a certain point.
Especially, didn't she fight Megan Anderson at one point too?
I believe she beat Megan Anderson, if I remember right. We'll scroll down. Went over Megan Anderson right before. Right before the scarf hold win over.
That's impressive as fuck, right there.
Yeah, no, Cindy Dandois has been putting on impressive performances. Alexis Davis did get the win over Sarah Kaufman, which is huge. People underestimate Sarah Kaufman, but Sarah Kaufman is a motherfucker. And having a loss to Ronda Rousey and Sarah McMahon, and a win over Sarah Kaufman is a pretty good run back for like being 1-3. However, when your last win was in April of 2015, you're coming up on 2 years since a win, and
so
that
discouraging.
makes me a little nervous, especially since Alexis Davis, from what I remember of her fights, isn't great at always winning positional battles. Like, I feel like Alexis Davis will give position if she feels like I feel like she can get kind of top position battled a lot or give up scrambles. And that's what Cindy Dandois is really good at. It should be noted that Cindy Dandois did get subbed by Tanya Evinger via armbar back in the day at UFC 10. Watterson versus Tiburcio, which is a great fight. Although Cindy Dandois also has not always faced the toughest competition. Let's go ahead and look at Cindy Dandois' recent opponent of Angela Pink. Chris, you ready?
Oh, I remember you told me about this, and I will be reminded soon enough, I imagine.
Go ahead.
That's right.
Go ahead and list her fights off.
So, her last 6 fights.
Just go ahead and say
off,
decision and time.
Okay. So, back in April 2016, she lost via submission to an armbar to Anastasia Yankova, who Tanya Evinger just beat, I believe, last.
Nope, that's Yana Kunitskaya, but Anastasia Yankova has been fighting in Bellator.
I'm confusing all the Russians.
You're thinking Bellator.
Yes. So...
she lost that at round 1 at 135.
Angela Pink beat Cindy Dandois via TKO.
Nope, lost to Cindy Dandois.
Sorry, I'm retarded. She lost to her TKO submission to punches. Which
13
was
seconds in.
Wow, 13 seconds.
Also, it should be noted
shit.
the ref was Sam Cecilia, which is kind of cool.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So my point is, Cindy Dandois hasn't exactly been fighting murderers in her last fight. Jessamine Duke, however, is a tough out. People sleep on Jessamine Duke just because she's had some bad performances, but Jessamine Duke I shouldn't even say bad performances. She just hasn't shown up to a couple fights. She's had some some outings that she has had a tough time in, but Jessamine Duke, first off, has a great Twitch channel. I'd like to shout out ahead of time. White Mage 01 on Twitch. Go follow her. She's fucking a sweetheart and very cool. But also, Jessamine Duke is way fucking tougher than anyone gives her credit for. She is a weird size for that weight class.
Yeah, she
cuts a lot of weight.
She's huge.
And it's very interesting. And fucking Cindy Dandois caught her in Scarfold in legit Scarfold. Also beating Megan Anderson, who is currently rumored to be the challenger for Chris Cyborg outside of JDR or JDR Jermaine Duran and GDR. Yeah, JDR is the radio show out of Denver, or podcast I should say. But very interesting overall, and I do like Cindy Dandois a lot. I do think she's probably gonna get this win, but man, her last opponent does not give her any shine in my eyes at all. It's just, I saw that record and I was like, what the fuck? Sometimes I'm one of the proponents of female MMA. I think it's dope. I think they always put on better fights. I fucking love it, but holy shit, are there some mismatches sometimes?
Yes, sir.
And Cindy Dandois and that fucking 0-19 fighter or whoever is one of them. Speaking of non-mismatches, Danielle Taylor and Jessica Penne, I think, is an awesome fight. I think it's going to be fireworks. Danielle Taylor came off the controversial win over Sohee Ham, who a lot of people think she lost that fight. She also lost via split decision to Marina Moroz. And she had the win in King of the Cage over Jamie Colleen. She is taking on Jessica Penne. Jessica Penne, who's had a fucking tough out in the UFC.
Yeah, she has since Two Killers.
Of course, fighting out of
Alliance. Fighting out of Alliance here in San Diego. She had that title shot against Joanna Champion. And then right after that, against motherfucking Jessica Andrade. So that's no fucking goddamn case.
Literally fighting the champ and the person who's fighting for the belt back to back. Before that, she fought Randa Marcos, who is also a contender, and she beat Randa Marcos via split decision. before subbing Nick Deli, Rivera, Kalnok, and Invicta. I do believe Jessica Pena gets this. I believe Jessica Pena gets this probably by decision, probably by very dominant clinch control and gassing Danielle Taylor to the point where Danielle Taylor's kind of just throwing overhands and failing at double legs. And I feel like it's just going to be a lot of Jessica Pena throwing combinations, getting Danielle Taylor's back against the cage, and kind of just working that combination over and over until Danielle Taylor takes the L.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good call right there. I'm really.
I mean, it could go either way. Danielle Taylor is very fucking tough and hits super hard, especially for the weight class. But I just don't see her being able to hang at the pace that Jessica Pena is gonna put. I feel like the clinch, the cage clinch game specifically is gonna be tough. Scott Holtzman taking on Michael McBride. I know nothing about this fight.
Neither do I, unfortunately.
I barely know the name of Scott Holtzman. Oh, wait, no. For a second, I thought I knew who he was.
Oh, this hot sauce dude?
Nope, that's Trevor Smith. I don't know who the fuck Scott Hot Sauce Holtzman is, but Hot Sauce is Trevor Smith, sir, so nope.
So this is the wannabe Trevor Smith.
He got the winner
Looks
with
like
Cody
he beat
Fisher.
Cody Fisher and lost to Josh Emmett from Team Alpha Male. Who's he fighting? Let me see who he's fighting. Michael McBride. Let's see Michael McBride. How is he?
I mean, he is training on an MMA lab with John Crouch and Benson and all those guys.
Let's see,
He's fighting Michael McBride, who is coming off of a loss to Nick Lynch.
Yeah, you know, I'm going with hot sauce.
Yeah, me too.
Holtz, dude.
I'm going with the MMA lab, basically. I don't know anything about either of these dudes. I hope they put on a fun show. It seems like it's going to be grappling heavy. And
Dustin Ortiz. Oh, and my boy, Brandon Moreno from last year's Tough. Goddamn, okay. This is a really...
Action Jackson.
This is a really good fight. Dustin Ortiz impressed me last winter when I was in Europe.
Makovsky.
Yes. Zach Makovsky is a scrappy fucking flyweight. These are flyweights, right? Yes.
Yep, I thought Makovsky had this fight.
See, that's what I thought too, but they give it to Ortiz. So,
yep.
Ortiz has a good shot.
No, I don't mean by scoring. I mean, I just thought I thought Makovsky was a lock.
So let's go with my boy Moreno, who impressed me during the season of Tough.
Ryan Benoit.
He beat Louis Smolka, which was insane at the time because Moreno was unranked and fresh off the TV show.
Fucking caught Louis Smolka.
He caught him in that guillotine.
Was he the one that started Louis Smolka's guillotine fall?
Yep.
He was the first one, right?
Because we just saw that Tim Elliott fight was fucking fire as far as grappling shit. That was fucking great.
Yeah, and then everybody started throwing guillotine attempts at Louis Smolka, which shut down all of his offense.
You know what? I'm going with Moreno, man. Dude,
Me
this
too.
kid's money right now, so...
Yeah, if Dustin Ortiz is real old and hasn't fought in, 4 months... he did have a very good win against Zach Makovsky, but
it was back and forth. It was fucking striking change on
also,
feet.
Zach Makovsky loses fights if he's not on top. Brandon Moreno at no point gives a fuck if he's on bottom. That is not a problem for
I think this
Moreno.
Moreno kid's going to go places, man, especially once he wins.
The way he's been performing, I don't necessarily disagree. Talis Leites is taking on Sam motherfucking Alvey.
Hell yeah, dude.
Damn it, I should have listened to the Pound for Pound podcast this week. Everybody listen to that. We'll have a link in the description. Pound for Pound podcast is great. Let's see. Talis Leites
is fighting some top goddamn contention.
Coming off the win over Chris Camozzi and the loss to Krzysztof Jotko. I mean, when your last 3 losses are fucking Krzysztof Jotko, Gegard Mousasi, and Michael Bisping, that's not a bad showing.
Let's see Sam Alvey.
Sam Alvey coming off the wins over
Nate Marquardt, Alex Nicholson, Kevin Casey, and Eric Spicely. Well,
by the way, all last year and this year, that's been within the time frame that fucking the Camozzi win happened or the Gegard loss happened. He fought 4 fucking dudes since then.
This thing I like Alvey because he'll fight anyone, anywhere, pretty much any time.
Alvey's tough as fuck and crazy.
I like Leites though because he's fight. This is a close fight, I think, man. I mean,
I think so too.
Motherfucker. So, yeah, man, this ain't no cakewalk.
Who you like in this one?
I like Leites by decision. As dumb as that sounds, usually by decision is not you're gonna say split or unanimous. It's just by decision. That's just how I see it. It's gonna be a back and forth crowd. They're probably gonna keep their distance. no one's gonna really be too kind of crazy and go for any knockout. I think they're just gonna gauge each other, and that's it. And
I like
distance, so
yeah, I like that.
I like Litus or Litus, what the fuck his name is.
However you want to pronounce it.
Yeah.
It depends on how Portuguese you are, but
I liked how it's Litus.
I like that pick. I think it's smart. I fucking love Sam Alvey though, so I'm picking him by decision because I'm a big old homer.
It's big toe too. He's got some good boxing.
I think he's probably just gonna push me against the cage too much and just like not just boring up the fight enough.
How about this though, Jake?
But
the Juggernaut.
Speaking of not boring fights,
Ellenberger versus Mike. I can talk to God via satellites. Platinum Perry.
Hey, at least he believes in satellites, Eddie Bravo.
Right
anyway, so Jake the Juggernaut Ellenberger is taking on Mike Perry. Mike Platinum Perry coming off the loss to Alan Joban. Well deserved.
Yeah.
Just, oh boy.
Yeah,
Maybe have a less racist corner. Also,
I like Ellenberger in this one. Just going to say it right now.
I don't at all.
At
I think
all?
Mike Perry KOs him.
Is that because Ellenberger's kind of old and kind of like...
No, I just think Ellenberger hesitates too much nowadays, and that's exactly what Mike Perry wants.
That is kind of fair, though.
Like, the more you hesitate, the more Mike Perry's just gonna fucking
Oh, no, that's a good point, though, because I remember when Ellenberger won versus Matt Brown, he, like, hesitated with a leg kick, and I was like, oh, and he, like,
well, Masvidal, too, like, there's just a lot, he's in that range of his career.
Yeah, because Ellenberger had that range of he can connect to overhand right, and Masvidal just kept him against cage and pushed him, and then, like, they called it weird call.
Well, he's one of those dudes who, like, sits down like he's gonna punch, but then doesn't do it, like, 8 times out of 10.
Oh, then, yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all.
And Ellenberger's pretty wild with this shit, whereas, like, Mike Perry's wild with this shit, but he's gonna just put a pace on Ellenberger. I think it's gonna cause a problem.
No, I agree with you.
It could be very.
I know you hate when I agree with you, but I agree with you now. That
no, I don't mind. I just hate when you agree with me after I've made the pick.
No.
That's why I let you pick first.
No, that's the only exception. You know what I'm saying though, like because you explained.
No, I'm saying, but that's why I let you pick first.
Oh no, like this one right here.
Joe Lozon versus Stevie Braveheart Vaughn.
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
That's right. Stevie Ray Vaughan, the fucking Sound of Violence OG.
Yeah, I know Stevie Ray Vaughan is a good talent. I like Joe Lozon because of experience, and I know he really didn't look. He looked decent in his last fight. I can't remember who he fought. I know Stevie Ray Vaughan, Braveheart, as in him. He's Scottish. He likes to stand and bang, and he stays in there. He beat Ross Pearson. Ross Pearson's another scrappy guy, but yeah, I just like Joe Lozon because he's been there, done that per se. Like as far as who's who kind of fighter.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a fucking giant Joe Lozon homer. I will pick that dude over pretty much everybody. He's like maybe it's just because of his Jen Pulver history, but like
that's right.
He's one of those few dudes.
That's right, and he was on his fucking team.
Yeah, he's one of the few dudes who I just automatically pick fucking Joe Lozon always because I just love Joe Lozon. I just want Joe Lozon to always win forever. Yeah, like I just want that dude to never not lose to never lose.
Just never lose. Yeah.
I don't negative on accident.
What about this though? John the Magician Johnson versus Eddie I'm Still Alive Wineland.
Man, this is
no offense to Wineland. This you know what I'm talking about.
This is an easy fight of the night.
I mean, like I'm
easy
just going
with
Dodson just because he's been fighting not as long as Wineland, and I haven't heard good things from Wineland lately. No offense. I mean, I know Wineland could still stand and bang. I guess
he beat Mizugaki back in December via TKO, which was super impressive. And he beat Signs via TKO too back in July.
Man. Like, okay. Did you agree with me when I said he beat Lineker?
Oh,
I think
he absolutely beat Lineker.
Me and you both agree, so that's fair.
That was embarrassing to give Lineker that decision.
For me, I think his decision just because Wineland's tough. He's been in some scraps, so I think sure he has the height and the reach advantage, but I like Dodson be able to his quickness, his explosiveness, being able to close that distance and just kind of keep the pace, keep the control. I like Dodson all the way through, just be a decision. I know decisions are not fun because no one likes leaving a hand in the judges, but I don't know if I see a knockout per se. Can Weiland get caught? Yeah, we saw it against Hannibal Rao. I've seen it against... Fuck, I can't remember who else knocked him. You know what I'm trying to say.
I like Dodson as well. However, I believe Dodson most likely probably wins this via knockout. I would say first round. Maybe second round. I think Eddie Wineland leaves himself too open, and Dodson's way too quick for him. I think probably when Eddie Wineland's retreating on like Eddie Wineland will step in, miss the shot, start retreating, and John Dawson will hit him with like a 3-piece and put him out. Probably, I would like to say like a fucking 1-2 head kick or like or some combination finishing high. But I just think Dawson's too much for Eddie Wineland, and I like Eddie Wineland, which is a bummer, but I don't see a way Dawson really loses this fight.
Do you think Wineland retires finally after this?
I mean, he has no reason to. Yeah. He's been fucking killing murderers. Like, no, I don't want him to.
I was just curious because I know it's kind of like the kind of...
See, I'm never gonna be the dude who like calls for someone to retire. Like,
like, I don't mean it disrespectfully, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Although,
like, some of those guys
I say that, and we'll talk here in a minute about how I feel about some people. Yeah. Not this next fight, but maybe the one after that.
Oh, yeah.
Just because of... Like, head trauma is... If I start hearing you sound head trauma-y, that's the only time I ever question, like, hey, man, maybe this isn't the best plan. OSP in the next fight, I didn't mean for that segue to sound the way it did. OSP is in the next fight taking on Rogerio de Lima,
who is a tough Brazil champion.
Yeah, tough dude, underratedly tough dude.
If I'm correct, I think he won.
Yeah, he was an 85er, I think.
He won season 2 or 3. Yeah.
Though, right?
Yeah, pretty sure he won.
Yeah, I believe he moved up in weight after not being able to make 185. I could be wrong.
No,
actually,
no. You're right. I think he made 185 and moved up to 205.
I could be wrong, but yeah, he might have said always been 205. No, I'm pretty damn positive
he won at 185 and just couldn't make the weight.
I want to say that's the case. Anyway, this dude's been impressing me, especially in his last fight. He impressed me in the Clint Hester fight, but he had the tough fight against Ntugolov.
Oh, because I remember Clint Hester from season 17 of Tough too. The Jones were son.
Tough
he was a good boxer on fucking
People
Jones
underestimate Clint Hester a lot because he doesn't have the greatest wrestling game, but like Clint Hester is a motherfucker. Like he would fuck dudes up on the low, and no one would give him credit for it. He was like he was a fun guy to watch. I like him a lot, but Rogerio de Lima got the recent win over Jeremy Kimball, which I believe I called ahead of time, and I do like Rogerio de Lima. OSP, I don't know how to feel about, man.
I like him, man. I like what he brings, but just based on his recent unsuccess, unfortunately, I can't go from here, man. I mean,
yeah, the problem is like I was all on his side up until he lost to Ozdemir.
Yeah.
And the second he lost to Ozdemir, I'm like, I don't think I can back you anymore, bro. Like, I feel like Rogerio will just double leg him all night and put him against the cage and make this no fun for him at all, and just either get the sub or TKO. That brings us to the co-main event of the evening,
which is my most anticipated.
Oh, it's the main event. It's the people's main event, 100%. I'll let you talk first on how you think it's going to go, but
okay,
man,
well, first of all, Diego Sanchez talked for 45 minutes straight on the MMA Hour with El Hawani.
Yeah, we went over that. That was rough.
Yeah, it was a little rough. He talked about how he saw the Holy Spirit and all that bullshit, how he had like a stroke or a heart attack. Right.
No, he had a panic attack because of weed.
That's what it was, yeah.
Yeah, if you listen later, he says, oh, by the way, I was taking weed for the first time in my life during that
Either way, how do I see this fight going? Well, let's look at his past 3 fights. He's fought 3 times in the past year. He beat Jim Miller, lost to Joe Lozon, and beat Marcin Held, who's a grappling guy. Raging Iaquinta
hasn't fought since
hasn't fought in 2 fucking years. He beat Jorge Masvidal.
Kinda.
Kinda. I mean, to be honest,
you boo me.
Yeah.
Fuck me, fuck you.
Exactly. To me, that was kind of a no contest. I don't know what to call it. It was a bullshit fight.
It was a draw.
Yeah, it was a draw. So realistically, Iaquinta hasn't fought really in about 2.5 years, 2 years.
Yeah,
so
2 exactly almost.
I can't really put any faith in him. Do I know his skill set? Yeah. I mean, he's beat some good people. He's beat Pearson. He's beat Lozon. He's beat fucking Jorge Masvidal. According to the judges. This is a tough one to call. I'm going with Diego Sanchez based on what was it? I think it was the fight. What was the submission? Maybe I'm tripping out. I can't remember. There was one fight I watched him fight a year or 2 ago where he submitted someone, but that could have been someone else. Yeah, I guess it was someone else. Yeah, I'm tripping out. Either way, I like Diego Sanchez in this one by decision. I think it's going to be kind of a back and forth affair. Both of them kind of exchanging, and then it'll be kind of a wrestling exchange at the end. And,
betting on Diego Sanchez by decision has never proved to anyone
anything, according to this, right?
No, that's, I mean, like, honestly, that's a smart bet because judges love Diego Sanchez for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
I like Quinta by
yeah.
TKO. I think he gets on top and punches Diego in the head until he
yeah,
dies.
I can see that. I just don't know if I'd call. I mean, I get you. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you at all. And then the main event, Chris, Cub Swanson versus Artem the T-Rex Lobov. I know we're trying to load it up, but we probably don't even have to.
Artem Lobov, Cub Swanson. Oh, boy.
Wow. So this is what happens, folks, when you talk your way into a main event.
Well, if you guys haven't seen, Artem Lobov has been training his hands with Connor in a cul-de-sac in Ireland.
And remember, he was born in Russia and forged in Ireland.
Yeah, no, my best training for a fight always happens in tennis shoes in a cul-de-sac on asphalt. That's always where my best training.
I thought you sound acid because that'd be kind of cool.
Hey, man, that would at least make me like Artem more. I like Cub Swanson over Artem all day.
I do too.
I like Cub Swanson by KO. I like Cub Swanson by KO. Probably third.
I said third-ish.
It's whenever Artem's gonna start gassing, which is like 2.5.
This is the thing. Would you agree that Artem has that stupid power to get him? He can clip him for this TRX arms if he could. Like, he does have the power.
Sure, but Cub's got a great channel.
Yeah, no.
You guys can find us at thesoundofviolence.com. You can also
shouts out to my mom who apparently listens to.
That's right. Hey, Chris's mom, email us at thesoundofviolence.com. Tell us all the bad words we should not be saying and shit we should be apologizing for. Because we all know you made it this long. There's no fucking way she made it this long.
I hope not.
There's no way. The fact when we started just saying that when I started yelling cunt over and over, I'm pretty sure she probably bailed. So.
That's not good.
Or maybe she's a bigger fan now. Who knows?
You know, I did warn my mom, and my mom started saying, I don't care. It's your passion. I'm like, but Mom, we clearly don't give a fuck. Like, that's the thing. You know, like, goddamn.
The whole point of this show is we do it for free and just to spread the knowledge about MMA podcasts. Because really, that's why I wanted to start this in the first place. That and to yell cunt into a microphone more often on the internet. So we got both of those things working out. And also me and Chris get to hang out and drink on the weekends.
Drink some homebrew, man.
I guess technically it's a weekend for once for us. So,
yeah.
So cheers to the beers Chris made. Cheers to this weekend's card. Go check that out. There's also an ACB card early tomorrow morning on Saturday, which when you're hearing this will have already happened. Because hopefully I'll fucking edit this and get it out before the UFC fights tomorrow.
I love these Sure Dog quizzes too.
Don't love the Sure Dog quizzes. They're fuck boys. But we are going to go ahead and close out here. Chris, anything you wanted to plug specifically?
No, man, I'm good to go.
Cool, man. Well, I wanted to again plug Kamura Obscura, who is KamuraShops on Twitter. KamuraShops on Twitter. We'll have a link in the description. He's the guy who did our artwork for this week, who is doing the awesome photoshops of MMA fighters and historical photographs. That's fucking amazing. We have Edgy Bra as our thing, as you've already heard. So hit that dude up. Go pay him some money to do something cool. And until next time, everybody, go do something.
Yeah.
We out late.